think we're going that long, but
No.
All right, so now we're live because it says live up in the right-hand corner.
All right. Excellent. Now, how do I pull up the YouTube page to see if anybody's going to talk or say anything? Let's see here.
So you should be able to just...
Still there?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, if you
right
go...
there on the side, group chat. Okay.
Oh, well, that group chat's actually the one for the Hangout. If you go to your YouTube page, you'll actually see the chat there, actually, on the side.
Okay, now if I see the chat on the side of the YouTube page, okay, I'm just gonna okay, it still says live stream offline.
Really? It's live for me. I actually have the chat. I have the window chat popped out and everything for me here.
Now I'm refreshing it. Yeah, it still says offline. Go figure. It's giving me all kinds of trouble. Maybe it's on my end today. I don't know. Yeah,
I couldn't tell you. I mean, I have the chat popped up, so I can keep track of it if you want me to.
Sure.
Yeah, because like what you can do is if you go to your YouTube page, this is right here. That's your YouTube page. That's actually the live video we're watching right now. It's you and me.
Right, and I don't. Maybe I wonder if I shut down my YouTube and come back, it'll keep this on, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Let's see, maybe it'll show up right this time. You might just having issues. All right, I went to YouTube, and maybe if I go to live stream. No. Let's go to Creator Studio.
You should be able to click the link that I just shared with you in the group chat and just go to it.
Oh, you sent me a link in the group chat. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think about putting the link in.
Well, I mean, I can make it even funner for you. I can just send you the link for the live chat too.
There it is. I didn't think. I just copied the group chat link there. I'm going to put that in and see if that works. That would be the smart way. Yeah. Aha! There we go. Finally. Okay, so I feel sorry if anybody's listening. I got to turn this mic off here. There we go. I muted that so I don't hear echo. All good?
All good.
Hey, Nightwolf's here. Hey, Nightwolf, how are you?
All right. I do see Nightwolf every once in a while on Captain Cummings stuff, and he's a pretty good follower. He's a pretty good guy.
Oh yeah, he's been awesome with me for quite a while now. So I appreciate it.
Right.
All right, you want me to share this on this link on Twitter or anything, so we get some more people pop in?
By all means, feel free to share the live stream, not the Google Hangout chat.
Okay, which one?
Oh no, that's that mistake. So just copy the one that's where the video's on, not the one where me and you were not the one that you gave me to share here. So I've actually had a friend of mine who accidentally shared the.
So I'm just going to copy the URL at the top of the YouTube page, right?
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, so let's not screw that one up.
Yeah, this actually happened. No, this actually happened to me once before in a chat. It's and you wouldn't be the first person that's ever happened to.
Well, it almost did happen. So there we go. Yeah. Okay, now it's up on Twitter.
Yeah. All
right. Okay, so now after all that, and it's a learning process for Captain Frugal of how to live chat. So much appreciated there.
Well, right. I'm sure you'll probably be doing more of them down the line anyway.
That's the game plan.
Exactly.
All right. So, well, okay, we got several people here. So I just want to say I'm Captain Frugal, and here we have Switchpoint, and we just thought we'd have a nice discussion. I will say right off the bat, Switchpoint really helped me out a lot here because clearly I did not know what I was doing.
Well, I don't mind helping. For me, it's just, I mean, I'm in like I was discussing with Frugal before here. I mean, I'm into like technology and stuff like that, but also we were discussing like YouTube does not make the layout of these things easy. Even like for somebody who's into tech, it's really annoying. Just like kind of like you got to navigate to here, then there, and then you got to press this button, and then you got to set this thing up. YouTube does not make it easy at all. It does it on purpose, I think.
Usually I'm pretty good with technology. This one maybe looks stupid, so.
No, trust me, I kind of looked stupid the first time I did. Oh, yeah, so it looks like somebody's calling for daddy.
Oh, yeah. Hey, little Frugal, you got to leave me alone, okay? I'll talk to you later. I'm doing something live. All right, I'll see you later, bub. Yeah, I know. I'll see you later. Well, ask your mom for some muffins. Little Frugal does some video stuff with me too. He's awesome. And hello, everyone that's here. Nightwolf, Conservative Nerd, Huey's Comics, HPG, Wellscraft, Dr. Dystopian, Underground Geek. Awesome. Thank you Switchpoint and I wanted to do just a quick nice little chat about some things about comic books.
Yeah, we wanted to, just kind of make a nice little light chat. Maybe try to keep the politics out of it. Keyword
Exactly.
try.
Well, I think we're going to do pretty good because it's been too heavy lately, right? So
it has.
Right. So the first topic I wanted just to discuss, we mentioned a little bit, is how did you get into comic books?
So I mean, like for me, that's a good one because, like, I think everyone kind of has a similar story where like people will buy them comics, and like kind of like that's no different here. So like your parents would buy you so many different like comics. Like okay, I'd get the Supermans, I'd get the Green Lanterns. Mind you, they're like, and they were the cheap ones, right? So it's like we'd be going off to like, I don't know how many people are familiar with the like those. They're kind of similar to yard sales, but they're not like the ones where they have like they'll have like the hobby sale thing where like everyone sets up a booth.
Swap meets.
It kind of exactly. It's a swap meet.
You're gonna love mine then too.
Yeah. So so we'd go to those, and then your parents would give you like maybe a little bit of money, or they might just buy something for you without telling you what they bought you. And I'd usually end up getting like so for me it's like, oh, I'll get like usually like some trading cards. I was like young. There was the Pokemon craze started during that time frame, but there's also like the superhero craze because that's during when Batman the Animated Series is going on, and like the X-Men animated series and all that stuff. And so then you'd get comics while you were there too. So your parents would be like, oh, well, here's some X-Men because you like the X-Men. Here's some Batman because you like Batman. Here's some Superman because we know you like Superman and like all that kind of stuff. Spider-Man would sneak in, Green Lantern, everybody. Like whatever they could get on the cheap, they'd be like, well, here's some 25-cent comics. Enjoy those. Give them a read. See what you like. And I'd get so many things. And the best part is when you get like a part of a story that's somewhere in the middle. So you're like, as a kid, your brain would just kind of like, so this maybe happened before, and this is probably what might happen after, if I can get the rest of it.
Oh yeah.
And I remember one of them I did end up getting was actually during the event of the Death of Superman events, but I couldn't get the entire. I got the entire trade now because the trades are easy to find. The hardest one for me to find of that trade was the between book, like not the Return of Superman or the Death of Superman. There's a between book in between it that happens. It tells like kind of the grief of Supergirl kind of thing. That one's the hard one to find. Okay. I actually, because they never reprinted it, I had to actually find the original trade for that. That was
awesome.
Yeah, like for me though, like that was kind of how it started for me. Now, when I really got into it though is I remember it was a job I got into, and a friend of mine was really into the Ultimate line of Marvel. And that was kind of what really introduced me into like getting mainly into comic collecting and comic like reading much more than I ever was before. Particularly stuff like I really like the Ultimate X-Men line and the Ultimate Spider-Man line. The thing I really liked about the Ultimate Spider-Man line, it was designed specifically for people who had never read a lot of like the origin stuff of comics and who really wanted to kind of like jump in and then at some point jump into the mainline universe. Mm-hmm. And that was back before Bendis was didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah, I agree. That Ultimate line started really good, and as a matter of fact, we collected it up until a little bit after Miles Morales started. And I wish I actually would have kept going because the Miles part was pretty good too.
Yeah, actually, one of my favorite characters came from the Ultimate line. There was a character. Her name was Bombshell, I think, or something like that. Her and her mother were like these bomb-based villains, and then like they arrested the mother, and like they said the daughter was too young, so they didn't arrest her. I'm like, that actually makes sense. And so she was like, well, now that I have a chance to be a good person, I want to try being a good person. I'm like, okay. So like Bendis was like leading it up to her possibly becoming a hero down the line. I'm like, okay. And I actually kind of liked the character. She had like a little twinge of I was evil because, of the circumstances I was put into, but given another chance, I might turn out to be a good person. And I was like, that's actually like, that's how you tell that's good character writing right there.
Yeah. Absolutely. And it's funny. I'm just taking a note here to remind myself something but for this, so I don't forget my thought. But my start was very similar as well. We grew up the ultimate white privilege, dirt poor. We had 6 of us living in a 1-bedroom apartment with 2 single beds in it.
Yeah.
So, you do the math of how sleeping arrangements were and things like that. So, white privilege to the T. And we lived off of swap meets and garage sales and things like that. And that's actually how I got into reading. My mother got a whole box of comic books from a swap meet for like a quarter, and that really helped me learn to read. So by 4, I was reading. And I mean, I had stuff like Iron Man #3, The Incredible Hulk #1, very early Avengers and stuff. It was like the box of gold to me. When I got that, I was introduced to a whole new universe, besides my crappy little apartment and things like that. It's like, oh my gosh, this is the coolest stuff. And so, I had a really good start, and I had those issues for a long time until my little brother discovered them and tore them to pieces. So.
I feel so sorry for you.
Well, crap happens. I've rebuilt a lot of that collection since then. I have near complete Avengers run. I have near complete Amazing Spider-Man run. I have most of the Satellite Spider-Man titles as well. And so that's sort of how I got into there. And what I did is, because as I said, we were pretty poor and things. As I got a little older, I always did side stuff to make money. And one of the things I did, and I started this in elementary school, I would get on my bicycle and I'd ride a couple miles to a little store, and they had penny candy. Then I would buy those penny candies and take them to school and resell them for like 5 or 10 cents, depending on what it was. And I'd build that money to buy myself comic books.
And I remember those penny candies, and I wish I was able to do that, but no, it didn't work. It wouldn't have worked out for me because in my case scenario, there's no, where I used to live back when back when I was younger, comic shops weren't actually heavily near me. So for me, it's like, okay, because I used to live like only one corner store was within walking distance from where I used to live when I was younger. And it was like, so, and they never carried comics. The most they ever carried, they used to have rentals of like video games. And even then that didn't last very long for them. They were like, yeah, this is a dying rental thing. Get rid of it.
Right. Well, for me, we didn't have a comic store either. This was well before, the traditional comic store, much like a conservative nerd popped up here in the chat. Is I would go to the spinner rack of the local store, or when we go to a grocery store. And like you said, you hope to get an issue, and then you hope next month to be able to have the money and find that next issue to continue the story, because it wasn't that easy, You hoped you were able to get it, and you pieced those together. But then again, was some of the beauty of that time. It was like back then you could pick up an issue, and even if you were, if you were in the middle of the story, it would catch you up enough. So every issue was almost made like it could be your first issue. Whereas today, I think you could do that and sometimes be lost.
Oh yeah. 1 minute. Somebody was asking about Original Sin.
You know what? I think I've read a couple issues of it, but that is it.
My biggest gripe is I read like about a good chunk of it. I didn't finish it. I really should, but my biggest gripe with it was Tony Stark. They can never get over the fact that Tony Stark must be at fault for everything in the Marvel universe.
He's been hit bad.
It's kind of funny because it's like the Original Sin was like one of the things like, no, Tony Stark was there when like Bruce Banner became the Hulk, and he was the one who gave the go-ahead for the gamma bomb to go off. I'm like, okay, so like Banner has been like absolved of all his fault for the gamma bomb. It's like, and Banner was and Stark was there during the time like Shield was funded to bring Captain America back to life, and it's like, okay, and it's like,
So early in your reading, when you first started, what was your favorite ones to read? I know you mentioned a couple heroes already, but did you have a favorite book in particular? Not necessarily an issue number, but a series.
For a favorite series, so like I think like most kids, I think I gravitated towards like Batman mostly when I was younger. Like when you're younger, I think a lot of kids really like the dark aspect of Batman because it's like, ooh, should I be reading this? This is so dark and naughty. And part of you is like, so part of you is just like kind of like there is that aspect of over like the Batman mythos of like this dark brooding hero. But then as I got older, I found myself more gravitating towards the enjoyment of Superman and like what he kind of stood for, and like Flash And I really liked Green Lantern, but like and those are mostly for the DC side of things. For the Marvel side of things, I really gravitated towards the X-Men when I first started reading, because like they were kind of like my biggest exposure into the Marvel universe. Particularly, I would say I was really fans of like Wolverine and Cyclops. Storm was really fun to like get. Also, like I would say my two favorite characters from the X-Men, though, to this day and like for the longest time, were Beast and Rogue.
He's cool.
The reason I love Beast, I love smart characters, like, and not just like silly like character. Oh, he's smart because he's smart. No, like actual characters that like are actually smart and like relatably smart. Like Beast was one of those people, like he never talked down to you, but you knew he was really smart because he would always like reference things and always like back up his studies. He'd always be like, he kind of like when they cast I can't remember his name right now, the guy who played Frasier, to play him in the movie. I was like, that's the perfect casting for Beast right there. Even if the movie wasn't great, it was the fact that like like when you have that type of person and that type of character that Beast is supposed to portray, that's what I kind of loved about that kind of like, it's that he's the smart guy in the room that doesn't mean to act like he's smarter than everybody else.
Yeah, you know, when his voice just sounded smart for the part.
It's true. It really is.
Dare I put up the people on the chat? Could you guess who my favorite one to read was? Just maybe a hint.
Man, I don't know. I don't know. You know, I think one of my favorite lines actually that came from Captain America. I have to point this out right now. Have you ever you've read the Ultimate? So I know you read the Ultimate lines. Have you read like the actual Ultimates book, like the one their version of the Avengers?
I've read some of it, not all of it.
Mm-hmm. So in the first volume, and like near the end, like the first arc, I should say, like Captain America is up against one of the I think they're called the Chitauri in that book instead of the Skrulls, and I think my favorite part about that is he goes up in there and they're like, "You should give up, Captain," and he's like, and it's like, "What do you think this A on my forehead stands for? France?"
Yep, I remember that
part. I was like, that is exactly like if you're to take like a heavily very conservative version of like what Captain America would be, like a very very proud of his country type of America. That I'd imagine him saying a lot like that, and it worked really well for his character. I enjoyed it quite thoroughly.
Yeah, if everybody hasn't been able to tell, I don't know how. I'm a huge Captain America fan. I have almost all the Cap books too. But yeah, he was probably my favorite. But I also loved reading the Avengers, so that was way up there too. Spider-Man was pretty high up there. The Hulk was up there. Mine was predominantly Marvel books. And I had a little bit of DC, a little bit of Superman, Batman, but predominantly Marvel. You know, so I loved it. And what I loved about the Avengers is because, as I mentioned growing up poor, I couldn't always afford to buy Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, all these characters. So I got a bunch of characters in one book.
Yeah.
And so that really, you know, helped me out that way. And yeah, it was old school, just like a Conservative Nerves put in there. I mean, you know, grab my spinner rack and in the late 70s, early 80s, you know, seeing what was there.
Oh, yeah, I mean, like I remember those days. I'd go to the grocery store, and if you're lucky, I mean, like heck, I was just happy to get any comic that I could get my hands on, even if like those comics were like of Archie. Like I had a phase of like just picking up Archie issues.
Yeah, I got some of those too. I really love the double digest as well. I thought you got a lot for your money.
Oh, you got like for $5.99, you got like so much in a double digest. I mean, like that's more than worth it. Even today, I would say, because like it still sells for about the same price if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Like,
did you hear that Marvel's doing that too? They're doing that with some the older runs and stuff, doing like a digest kind of story.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like they know the older runs are the only ones that'll sell.
Who would buy this new crap? Yeah, that's probably true. Well, you know, let's be honest. If it was your first introduction to a comic, it was a new one from today, you know, or would you compare it to an old one? I think you'd take the old one hands down. I mean, Black Panther is a great example. You pull up something with Black Panther from today's time and pull it up against something from Christopher Priest. There's no comparison there.
Okay, I want to point out the Christopher Priest stuff was so good. They did that little short animated thing about it because it was that good. I mean, like you can't deny like a classic story that's a classic story is going to stay well no matter what age it comes out at. Also, okay, so now we're on the topic of Archie comics. So I have to ask, Betty or Veronica?
Oh, I have to go with let's see, it's Veronica with the dark hair, right?
Veronica was the dark-haired rich lady.
That'd be Veronica because I tend to go for dark-haired chicks. So
that is fair. Now I'm gonna take you for a bit of a loop here because if we're going with the classics, Betty and Veronica, yes, I would go with Veronica just because I actually read a lot of the early Archies. People forget that Betty used to be the stalker type.
Oh yeah,
and that kind of puts me off a little bit. I'm like, no, she was pretty bad back. I imagine her to like at one point try to kill Archie if he tries to do anything.
Yeah, Veronica just I don't know. She was a little bit more pointy. You know what I mean? She didn't hold back. She was a little bit more brutal. And a little story off with
yeah, but like the bonus with Veronica, I would say is sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. No, go ahead. No, I just want to say the bonus for Veronica is that like I'd imagine she's that girl that once you get her in your lap and you get her like nice and enjoys, like nice and like understanding your point of view, she's on your side no matter what.
Sure.
Like, I mean, that's how I always viewed her. Like, yeah, she's haughty, she's a little bit temperamental, but like once you get her, she's on your side no matter what. And that's always how I viewed her character, at least. Maybe I'm mistaking it.
I think Betty would have been the good friend next door, the pal around with. Then you can go out and do fun things. An interesting thing with you mentioned with the dark hair, my wife loved this recently. Yeah. She was wearing, because my wife's a nerd too with this stuff, so she's a diehard Spider-Man fan. And then between her books, by the way, and mine, that's how we about have a complete collection there. So it worked out really well. But anyway, she was wearing a Justice League shirt probably 6 months ago or less. And this will tell you the comic nerddom in our house. We do have a comic book room in our house too. But anyway, she's wearing this Justice League shirt, and my daughter, she's only 2. Okay, so she points to the shirt and she goes, Superman, Batman, Flash. And when she gets to Wonder Woman, she goes, Mom. It just made her day.
I wish I had actually had Wonder Woman on my Justice League shirt because I have the one that has Green Lantern, Flash, Batman, and Superman. Now I didn't get I didn't have the one with the Wonder Woman one was sold out when I ordered mine, and so I kind of wish it was there because like there's one that had like the 7 key members, the actual like starting members. So like it had like the Flash, Wonder Woman, Hawkman, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, Batman, like the whole. 1 minute, actually.
No problem. I got my kids yelling around. Hey, everybody that's on the live chat. If any of you, does anybody there want in, and let me know if you have mic and things, I can try to get you in. I'm not really astute on how to do this. I'm in the process of learning. But if you want in, set in the thing, and I'll ask him to help me out. And we see if we can get you in on this live chat. So between Switchpoint guiding me, I probably will have a little bit more wisdom in this area here. This is my first time controlling a live chat. I've been in quite a few of them, but I've never controlled one before. I just told anybody that's in there in the chat section, if anybody wanted to join in, send the thing there.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can get somebody in. If I was to invite somebody, how do I invite them in?
Okay. Yeah. If you hit on the, so I'm going to share my screen for a second so I can show you how to do it. So I'm just going to screen share, and I believe that's the one I want. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you can see yourself now, I'm sure.
Okay.
If you go up here to this little cog here and hit settings. Oh no, sorry.
Wait, hold on.
Okay. Yeah. So can you see yourself right now?
Yeah, I can see myself.
And did you click on my screen?
I click on. I think I did. The-
All right. Now, what you should be able to see here is if somebody wants in on this, I don't think I can do it, but you might be able to. So if you go here.
okay, see the little gear was that you clicked on? The settings?
Yeah. Oh, no, not the gear. Sorry. It was.
Oh, invite people.
Yeah. Sorry,
Okay.
I don't think I have the option like you do.
Yeah, okay, I see. Then it says share the permanent link or send invite. Okay.
Yeah, so hit the send. Yeah, copy the permanent link. So actually, like one thing is like you should be able to just copy the link and share the link. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen because I'm sure that's annoying for people.
So I share the permanent then.
Yeah, and then you should if you get like an actual Hangout link, you'll get a Hangout link, like an actual just like a URL, and then you can just give it to people privately, like in a Twitter chat or wherever.
Okay.
And then you'll be able to jump on.
Excellent. Okay, that's good to know. Nobody jumped on, so nobody must be mic'd up and raring to go. But that's okay. Okay, Knight will say Woodway's actually running our video right now. Stop that video, man. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I understand that, Wolf, my man. Maybe some other time we'll get you in on this.
Yeah, especially if I can learn what the heck I'm doing. Usually I'm pretty good at the tech stuff, and this is making me feel old and decrepit.
No, trust me, it's a bit of a learning curve for anybody who's not used to using Google Hangouts. So, also like
I've usually been on the invited end.
Exactly. I mean, I had to learn it too when I was like the first time doing it. So trust me, it takes time. Like even people who are like the most techie nerds, I find like Google just does not lay out its things well at all. So yeah, what was our discussion about? No, oh yeah, so
we were talking about Buddy and Veronica.
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah. So there is a third option. There's actually a few other options because Archie has a very interesting dating career, I find, when it comes to comics. And if people forget, he actually did date one of the members of the Josie and the Pussycats at one point.
I was going to mention the whole band.
Oh, yeah. And, well, he actually only dated, if I remember correctly, he dated... Trying to remember here. He dated Valerie, I believe. Was right. Yes. Yeah, he dated Valerie. Now, and there is an actual scenario they did in a recent comic. It was like a few years old now, where you remember they had the what if line if Archie had married Betty or if Archie had married Veronica. Well, they recently did one is what if he had married Valerie instead. And I always liked the Valerie option just because she was I don't know. I like the idea, because it kind of harkens back to him being also musically inclined and liking music. And it was a cute little one-off of if he had married her, they had their daughter had a mulatto daughter who had the orange hair, and she was apparently really good at singing at music and stuff like that. Now, oh no, we got Farclow is in the Farclow or
yeah, I think you meant to put Hail Frugal. He put Fail Frugal. Yeah, that's pretty much how the technical side.
No, he might have actually put Fail on purpose because he has a little bit of a hate on me right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Put on the gloves. You guys working out? Oh my gosh. That's terrible. You're picking at each other a little bit at the moment.
Just a little bit. No. No.
Hopefully
he's
it's
fine,
a friendly rubbing.
It is.
All right.
It's always friendly between the both of us. It's never anything. It's never anything too serious. Yeah. Let me take a quick look here. So yeah, any comics in particular you're reading right now? I know you're not reading as much, of course, with the whole bad Marvel thing right now going on.
Right. I've said this earlier in some tweets and in some of the videos and things that I've done. I've been doing a lot of DC catch up. I've been reading a lot of some of the new 52 that I didn't read, as well as catching up into the Rebirth. So I've been reading that. I go to hoopladigital.com and I have a library card, so you can put your library information in there and you get to read it digitally for free. And they have a ton of DC stuff on there. So with the Wonder Woman movie, I'm re-catching up on Wonder Woman. So I've been reading a lot of Wonder Woman for Rebirth. I think I'm on volume 9, so they pack it as in trades. So I've been reading that. I read the first trade of the Justice League, Green Lantern Corps, I believe it was, several others. So I've been actually using this time rather than just go, okay, I'm going to just sit and not read anything, be mad, to dive into some stuff that I've always liked, but I just, we were limited on funds. For example, my wife and I, at one point, we were up to like, you might go, well, big deal, it's only 10. But when they're $3.99 or so a pop, and you've got a mortgage to pay, vehicle to pay, kids to feed, and things like that, that adds up a lot. And just to try to keep it to 10 books a month, and just some of them we never could fit in. So now with all these pretty much falling off on the market from Marvel for us, it allows a lot of opportunity to read DC.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, like. Well, I mean, it really does add up, because I remember there was a point where I was like collecting so many comics, and the problem is just like when you start collecting, like even if it's ongoing issues or not, there's a point where you just realize like it kind of like adds up, and you don't even realize. And you're like, oh well, now I'm collecting like 5 issues, oh then 10 issues, then 15 issues, and then you're like, well, financially, how many can I sustain? I need to
exactly
and because it's like, okay, well the $2.99 or the $3.99. Some are $4.99 now. I mean, like that's a single, and that like, okay, it's not like I'm buying a double digest Archie for $4.99. It's I'm buying a $4.99 like 25-page comic.
Right, and you're going to read this thing in 5 minutes, right?
Yeah, like,
and that's part of the problem. So one of the things I do is I like check locally around. Use like iOffer as well. Not iOffer. I'm sorry. Shoot, I forgot what it's called, but it's something. It's an app that lets you trade and buy things from people locally.
Oh, that's good.
And as well as YouTube. And what I do is I buy complete runs or huge sets and stuff for cheap. Like sometimes on YouTube you get like 50 issues of a series for a couple bucks. Boom, that's what I do, and I buy up the whole thing, and then read them. So it gives me a lot to read that way, and I still have a good pile. I mean, because I have probably about 10,000 comic books. And I'd say 90% of it's Marvel. So when people, oh, you just don't like Marvel. No, you don't realize I'm a Marvel fanboy, and this hurts. It's like Marvel punched me in the face and said, we don't want you anymore. We've taken a lot of your money, but we don't want you.
Well, I mean, it's true. Like, I mean, for me, like I started noticing the downfall. Like, I mean, I'm not even going to talk politically here. I just started noticing where Marvel just wasn't catering to the interests of us. Like I started noticing it for years now, and it's just kind of like, it's weird because, like, okay, so one of my favorite runs was I wasn't a big fan of Crisis on the hero versus hero thing of Civil War.
Okay.
And I mean, like, whatever, if people were into it, they were into it. I'm not saying, oh, you should dislike that run. No, I think part of me just didn't like the idea of like I don't like the idea of like why the whole Civil War thing. I didn't like how big of an event they tried to make it, and I was like, okay, whatever. But Cosmic had some really good stuff going on around that time. Specifically, like one of my favorite runs was Guardians of the Galaxy and like the Nova Corps stuff, because Nova Corps was starting to get rebuilt around that time. Well, not really like completely, because like the Nova was leading into the Nova Corps around that time, and then Nova Corps happened. And then you had stuff like, and then DNA was doing the wait a minute, what? I'm a pimp overlord tease at what? Oh, this thing right here. This is the Konami code. I actually found this shirt specifically. I was at a con.
And just for I am wearing a cap shirt. See, so somebody was asking. Where's it?
Yeah. So, I found this one at a con. Though there is a really great site for people who are looking for like very varied tees from like multiple generations. Check out 80s tees. I would like. I mean, I'm not even sponsored by them. I don't know if anyone is, but if they did want to sponsor me, I'll gladly take it. What it is they're just like, no, they're like literally they're awesome. Their quality of their shirts. I actually had some. I still have some that I bought like years ago from them. Quality of their shirts quite good, machine washable, and the prints are nice on them. I have like a Green Lantern shirt I got from them. I had to give up my Flash shirt because I that one I actually lost weight, so I wasn't able to wear that one anymore. It was too baggy. But yeah, no, definitely check out the 80s Tea website. Very, very good. It's 80stea.com, I think, or you search it up on Google, you'll find it.
And just for nerd cred, since I know he's wearing the shirt, I'm going to cover my eyes when I do this. Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, start, and you hit select start if it's 2 players, just for the record. Boom.
Damn, he did. He did.
We know that one. Oh, what's my favorite Marvel DC crossover? Oh, wow. Probably Spider-Man, Superman. I think it was when Lex Luthor teamed up with, oh crap, what was that? Doc Ock, maybe it was.
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was Doc Ock. I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll go back to one of those. You know, the big one when they did Marvel vs. DC and a whole bunch of heroes for clashing, and it was more of a vote who your favorite contest kind of thing is. It didn't really have a good story. It was more of, okay, let's see who here fight.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was mostly the real stuff was like when they started doing the actual real stories. I think one of my favorite ones was the Spider-Man Batman team up was actually really well done.
Yeah,
that one had the one where like it was Cassidy and Joker teaming up. So like you had Carnage and Joker, and like it was interesting because the point is Carnage was created specifically to be the Joker of the DC of the Marvel universe because he was inspired heavily by the character. And so it was nice to actually see those 2 characters actually kind of meet up. Also, what I liked about it was they didn't have like this weird thing where this dimension opens up and Batman meets Superman, Batman meets like Spider-Man or some bullshit. No, it's like it was just like, no, New York is like a place and Gotham is a place apparently in this universe. And like there's even a line from Batman. I think it was really silly. It was, what's Spider-Man doing here? It's like Peter Parker's supposed to, like, this is not Peter Parker's jurisdiction. Like, first of all, Batman's smart enough that he already knows Peter Parker's Spider-Man. I'm like, okay, he probably put 2 and 2 together eventually. And secondly, it's like he knows like the jurisdiction of like Spider-Man's jurisdiction is New York. He better not be in Gotham.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I can get behind this. This works.
Reading some comments. Yeah, I tend to like a lot of the other ones, but as I said with that one with the big clash, it just didn't have a good story. I mean, sure, there was a couple of WoW fights, and of course, I was butthurt when the Batman Cap fight. I mean, they didn't technically say Batman won, you know. But
the thing is, with the Captain America Batman fight, that's a tough one to like take a look at like who would actually win. I'm actually on the belief that the 2 of them are very like evenly matched. You gotta remember, these are like characters that are specifically designed to be the peak of human physicality of like,
right.
That's what these characters are supposed to represent.
And I'd always leave out prep time because, you know, you can always say prep time anybody, you know, so no prep time. They're going to fight it out good.
Oh, I love that. The prep time argument is the stupidest thing ever. Oh, it's like, well, Batman would beat Flash with prep time. I'm like,
right.
It's like, at this point, prep time is a superpower.
Right. I mean, technically, then Popeye could beat Batman with prep time because he'll know to crack open a can of spinach and it's done. You know? Okay, maybe I pushed it a little there. But yeah, the prep time thing just doesn't cut it for me. I tend to like, you know, just if they're going at it. And,
actually, my favorite Batman stories are the ones where Batman doesn't have this supposed prep time. It's when Batman's like an actual detective and he has to figure out what's going on and he's in the heat of the moment. Those are the best Batman stories. Like, he's a detective. He's not like some action hero. Like, people forget that, you know?
Yeah, he's you know, can't be beaten in his own book. Well, and, you know, now that's the way people view it, but actually he has many times.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong. I mean, like if you love Batman and if you like the Batman mythos, power to you. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I do actually have some love for the character, but heck, I mean, I even have like a few Batman memorabilia around my house. I actually have like one of the statues right there. A friend of mine bought me for my birthday a few years ago. Just give me a second, I'll grab it and I'll just show it just for just for cred.
Sweet. He's got to get his nerd cred here. I'm still waiting to get I want a Captain America shield back there on the wall. That's what I want. So that would be amazing. That would just make my day. And hi, I love comics. It's nice to see you here too. Superman had Thor's hammer. Oh, yep, that's right.
He did, and the I love comics. Good to see you, my man. And yeah, so as you can see, like this was done, and this is from the Batman Inc. line. Specifically, as you can tell, because of the actual like icon on Batman's chest right here, how it's connected to the cowl, just like in that line was. And this is actually the first time they actually got rid of the trunks on Batman, as you can tell right down there. Like, this was a really awesome statue. A friend of mine got me that for her birthday one year, and also like just like this is the kind of stuff like I love getting these kind of things. These statues are always nice.
Right. Just again, since we got more people popping in, if somebody might want to jump in on the conversation, let us know in the chat, and we'll try to get you in. Okay. I say try because I'll probably screw something up, but we'll give it our best shot.
Oh, well, we'll try. We'll try.
That's right. Yeah. So as I said, I was butthurt a little bit about the Cap deal, but I can get over that. I can handle that. Cap doesn't have to win all the time. But that is one thing that's bothered me lately about it is how many times can you run Cap through the ringer? I mean, we had the kill off Cap and Bucky Cap, and I have to say that was cool. It was written awesome. It was good.
I think I love comics wants in on this one.
Okay. So you said I click on the links here. I'm going to try to do that, and I'm going to get that HTTP YouTube link, or do I get? Is that the link I'm going to use, or do I?
No, you want the Google Hangouts link, not the.
Okay, just the one in the URL. Okay, just copy that, and I'm going to send it to I Love Comics. So I'm going to send it through your PM you through Twitter, Mr. I Love Comics. So here, let's try this. All right, and now I'm going to.
I Love Comics. You've been gaining some popularity, my man. Keep it up.
Yeah, well deserved too. That stuff, your stuff has been great. Okay, I sent you this whole big long link. I hope I sent you the right thing.
I think we'll find out in a few seconds.
Yeah, it says Hangout, so we'll see how that worked.
But yeah, the thing about Captain America, because like the Bucky thing made sense. It was during a point where like Captain America couldn't be Captain America. But like, how many times does he have to go there? So somebody said it once before, and he was right. And this was like diversity in comics. I think I've said it before. Even like I think even Captain Cummings I think has said it before. But how many times has how long has it been since we've had an extended period of Captain America? Yeah,
we had that period. He came back for a very short time. Then they turned around and made him old, and so that knocked him out. It's just like, come on, man. And I have nothing against Sam. I think Sam is a logical choice for a legacy character for that, and I was down with that until I read how crappy they wrote it. Hey, okay, we got him in here.
Yeah, and now I Love Comics. Might have to just do some setup before we can speak with him, but
yeah, I'm looking at it. It shows like a little mute sign over a mic on his little.
Yeah, that's just because he's muted. He might have to agree to the live statement before coming in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No. Anyway, don't worry. He'll join us when he joins us. Hopefully.
Okay. I'm gonna see about the other one to see if I can not screw that up. I'm seeming to be somewhat getting this right. What is his email? Let's see. Yeah, we got you. Welcome aboard.
On my end. I am the old man. I do not know the technology.
I'm feeling you there, man. He's helped me all the way through this, so it has not been me. Oh no, it's not that I don't love you, man. I'm trying to work on getting you in right now. So I'm trying to do it through Twitter to pull up your information.
Okay, well I can hear you, so you tell me if I'm on or not. That's fine.
Yeah, you're on.
Oh, you're on. We can hear you fine. We're trying to just get our friend in here. Send him the link too if you have him on Twitter.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find. Do I have you on my Twitter? You're not showing up in my
Oh, let me see. He might show up as this fucking guy.
Oh, it's that guy. Okay. I didn't put 2 and 2 together. Oh my gosh, I am slow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you sent me the link. That's how I got here. So yeah.
Oh, not you. It's that effing guy that he's talking about.
Oh,
right?
that
Fair?
Yeah, the guy who follows all his comic book YouTubers. It's funny because he's actually not like too big into comics, but I do appreciate his follows. He's an awesome dude. He's great to talk to. So
yeah, I'm trying to think of what his @ is though. What's his @?
Let me see if I can find him here.
Okay.
As I do follow him, so
yeah, I do too.
yeah.
Oh, I don't know why he's
not. Actually probably want to. Okay.
Or if you could find it, you want to send it to him.
Yeah, if you want to put the link right here for me, I can. In the actual group chat here for me, I'll see if I can find him.
And the group chat, and was that like a personal chat thing in here or something? Oh wow,
yeah. It is. Yep, it's just for us.
Okay. And boom. Okay, there it is. It's freaking huge.
Exactly.
All right, so I do apologize, man. It wasn't me trying to hold anybody out. It's because I'm incompetent. Let's just call it as it is. This is the first time I've ever ran a Hangout. As I said, I've been on them, but running them is a whole new frontier for me. So
well, that's cool.
Oh no, well,
I haven't even tried this. Me and Jack keep talking about doing, but I'm lazy, and then 2, just don't understand. So
well, I figured out how to do a live stream gaming real easy. That worked out great, but this was a lot more complicated, evidently, for me.
We're like Google doesn't make it easy.
We're thinking about doing this for the top 10s for the Kirby month.
Awesome,
nice.
Just to see, do a weekly thing, see if we can't work it out.
Well, since we're waiting on him to get in, and you're like me, seasoned, I like to call it.
Okay.
What was your start into reading comic books? How'd you get into it?
Wow. Okay. First of all, I'm going to hawk because I did an entire video based about that. But in all honesty, I do not remember a time I never had a comic in my hand. My brother, he's 3 years before me. He read them. My parents used to take us to the library where I would get the collections of Golden Age stories. Mm-hmm. So I was into plastic. Excuse me. It's Florida. It's 5 o'clock, so you may be hearing a tropical storm here. Golden Age is from that. But one time when I was, I want to say 9-ish, 10-ish, I rode my bike up to a Stop and Go, and they had a sale on comics, and I just bought a whole ton of them. But the one that made me say I have to keep going back and reading this was an Adventure Comics. It was when it was the first issue of the Dial H for Hero storylines. So the fact that kids were making these characters just got me into it. And it was about kids in school and everything who could become superheroes. So yeah, no big X-Men. Nope. It was first reading the old Golden Age and then Dial H for Heroes. Oh, and of course the Harvey comics when I was a kid. But
okay, I want to point out.
I sent him the link. I just found him too, by the way.
I just found him.
Yeah, we got him in.
Yeah, we got it. We
So what comic book?
But Dial H for Hero. But look for the video called "How to Create a Comic Book Addict."
Okay.
So, yeah, that's.
So since you're a comic book addict, how many issues do you estimate around how many comics you have?
How many do I have?
Just a rough estimate, because if you're like me, I don't count them. Have current.
I sold my collection to go get a bride in Thailand. Not that I bought her; it was just to go visit.
And how did that work out for you?
I know it sounds weird, but so now my comic collection that is not digital is very small.
Okay.
But I've been going digital now for since it started. So I've got 100,000 maybe.
Wow.
I don't know how many they make. I've got fully on digital because I started at the beginning. I've got full runs of Fantastic Four and X-Men, and
I'm pretty jelly, my man. Pretty jelly.
I will say I love reading on digital as well. I have quite a few that way. I don't count those in my collection, but I do. I love reading them on my tablet.
If we're not counting those 2 long boxes left, I kept my legion of superheroes stories.
It was mentioned in the chat that you didn't buy her, you bribed her with money.
Right. Yes. That's it. Yeah.
Did we get Jay in here?
Well, unfortunately, there is a reputation that Thai women have that they're always after money, but and it's a little bit true.
Just a little.
Hey, if it works, I'm not complaining.
Well, if you can pay the bills, they'll love you forever. That's all, provide them security and they'll love you forever. But no, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like I went and bought, but and I'm very happy. And I would never say an unkind word because she's a farmer and she has muscles bigger than mine.
There you go. I just had to plug my computer in there. I didn't realize I was running on battery power. It brightened things up.
It does help.
I should have thought about that. I didn't even realize it was unplugged. All right, so Jay, you're here too, right?
Sup, bro?
Hey, so what started you? What was your beginning getting into comics? How did you get started?
Basically, I used to read comics when I was like a little kid, but basically like Desperate Dance and stuff like that, in England. And ever since I quit smoking like 4 years ago, I started buying comics again, like DC. I've got like, 4 Marvel, if you get what I mean, 4 Planet Hulk, and ever since then I've just moved on to Vertigo and Dark Horse.
Yeah. BPRD, Conan, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I got the Hellboy library editions behind me.
Yeah, I see the BPRD, man.
That's where I'm going. Not psychic, can actually read the books.
Dude,
crazy stuff.
That was going to say I'm dyslexic, Mick, and I would take offense to that right there. Yeah. Switchpoint, you glorious bastard. How are you doing?
I'm fine, my man. I'm fine. I need to start getting back
down to a minion because it's Frugal, and I kind of rate him, and I think he's a god amongst walking against men. Just look at him, he's a god. Just look at him, he's a god. He's the swag master overlord.
I wish. No, no. For my cases, I mean, like I was surprised that the amount of like. The amount of community that's for comics that are on the actual on YouTube. It's nice to actually kind of like meet up with people and like get to like know them. You know what I mean? And I've been doing some live chats here and there. Like I was just on like the live hangout with Captain not that long ago because he had his Patreon hangout and I was on that. Conservative Nerd is asking if anyone is a Preacher fan.
The religious people or the comic book?
The comic is glorious, mate. The comic is fucking glorious.
The comic is good. The Preacher, that they are just not as good as sex as they try to brag about. So yeah.
No. The thing with me,
go for the Preacher comic book. Yeah.
The TV show is not as point as the comic. This is why I'm a bit paranoid about the Witcher TV series by Netflix. Because the original Witcher program is on YouTube, but it's in Danish and it got made in 19 summer. This is why I'm a bit paranoid about the TV show getting made by Netflix, because it won't become true with the lore or the books of the game, if you get what I mean. Switchpoint knows what I'm on about Witcher.
Oh, yeah, no, I know exactly.
Castlevania, I love that show. The game is a classic.
I mean, like, from what I understand, it's the same creative team that's doing on Castlevania that's doing The Witcher, isn't it?
But it's going to be live action, though.
Yeah, so...
I just went back 2 weeks ago and beat Castlevania on the NES.
Never played Castlevania. And I was lost on that TV show.
Oh, yeah. The ending of that game, by the way, fighting Dracula.
Frugal, how amazing is that game?
It's a great game. You know what? I didn't have any issues with it. I thought it was pretty easy until I fought Dracula at the end, and he freaking made me like a turd. He took me out.
Did you say the Super Nintendo version, or did you play the Nintendo Entertainment System version?
The NES, the classic one. I went back and retro on that one, and I was like, "This ain't bad." And then Drac made me look like a fool, and I had to go play through it again after he killed me. And
Dracula has the hardest pattern in that game, though.
So basically, the Frugal, a god amongst men, got made the bitch by Dracula.
Yes, I did. But I went back and I beat him.
You've lost all credibility to my eyes right now.
Well, don't watch my last live stream last night then. Avoid that one where I get killed on Left 4 Dead.
What? You've lost all credibility. You've lost all credibility in my eyes. I do not want to buy one of your t-shirts. I am still going to support you. I still think you're a cool guy, but you've gone from God to kind of demigod, but just to a mere mortal in my eyes. Now, Switchpoint, you are a demigod in my eyes. Take his rank. I don't give a fuck.
What are you playing on Left 4 Dead?
I think the normal one, whatever the standard one.
You are a fucking noob.
To be fair, I was a noob. That was the first 2 times I played that game. I played it during live streams. The first one I played, I made it all the way through. The second one, I did another new one, and I made it to the very end of the ship. And it's one of my teammates went down. And I'm playing this solo, so it was just an NPC, the computer played characters. And I go back to save the guy, and I got killed. So
no, they are Street Fighter. They're there to die so you can make it.
That's what I should have left him. I would have made it if I left him.
Yeah, you should leave them.
Your sacrifice was worth it.
It won't. No, I will not accept that.
I will not I beat Castlevania Bloodlines recently too.
Imagine Frugal playing Dark Souls. I would love to see that rage on him because I've never heard him swear before. It'd be fucking funny.
I don't think he's taken to swearing, but it would be an interesting watch
with his accent.
You know what it is? I would pay good money to see it. Good money to actually see it. I'd give him a grand here and there just to say, yo, play Dark Souls. Let me entertain myself. Drink a couple of beers.
I don't think I have
play the game, but if you swear in his accent. That's the thing.
I'll have to.
I can't swear in an American accent. I'm British for fuck's sake.
But when you say fucking, you've got to say fucking.
Because I'm half Irish. Because I'm half Irish and that.
He wants Frugal to swear in like the Irish accent, and I think that'd be wonderful.
You know what it is? Switchpoint, you know I'm half Irish. I would pay good money to fucking for him to say that.
Oh, yeah.
I would say, yo, there's a grand say fucking.
Yeah, I don't think I have that game, Dark Souls, yet. So I'm looking at my pile.
You'll find it. It goes pretty for PS3 and 360. It goes pretty cheap nowadays. You'll find it eventually. Just kind of keep watch for it. I think it'll be one that'll actually like do well for you on a stream because there's a big community that loves watching people stream that, even if they're bad at the game.
Oh, so you're saying fit me?
Yeah.
You might hear me
say a good community that likes seeing people rage.
It's literally what it is. People like to watch people rage at that game.
Probably see me rage, have me do Mega Man. I suck at Mega Mans.
Oh,
are you literally shite at playing that game?
Usually I'm pretty good at a lot of that stuff in old school ones, but yeah, that's never been one of them.
The only thing I suck at Mega Man is the because I'm actually not that bad at them. I'm not the greatest. Like I'm not gonna one of the speed runner types. I'm not that good, but I do enjoy them and I do like to play them. But the ones that I'm not that good at are the timing puzzles. The ones like jumping at the specific time for like each platform. But I've usually got like my best option for that is find the power that makes you like cheat that. So like, oh, I have the rush. That'll do. Or there's one game where you can only.
You mean like me playing on a Fallout 4 using the God mode cheat and running around with that fat boy all the time blowing shit up?
Yeah, exactly right. The best part about Mega Man though is they know people hate those parts, so they give them these things anyway. So they're like, "Here you go, just fly around with Rush. That's fine."
Nightwolf mentions to watch him play Bloodborne. That game made him rage.
Bloodborne's a good game though. Once you get your head around it, that's one of the games what basically made me start playing Dark Souls, and I enjoyed it. I've raged a couple of times, nearly broke a controller, nearly put my monitor screen through, but yeah, I beat the game.
Wow, I've never raged that hard at a game. Mega Man probably makes me pretty angry though. I have beat Mike Tyson, by the way. I took Tyson out. So
well, literally in a fight. Oh,
of course. Yeah, Tyson. Yeah.
Get in a boxing ring with me. Let's see.
Yeah, I am not afraid to go down.
That's what Switchpoint said to Captain Cummings. But yeah, fuck it.
Now I want to point out. No, me and Captain, we have a good time. So like he's a pretty awesome.
Literally good times.
Indeed. Now rumors are going to start between Captain and myself, and then
Oh, I will stir them rumors up, my good sir. I will literally stir them rumors up on Twitter.
I do
because I've got the followers what might believe that shit.
I have a couple videos I haven't put up yet where I beat games on that I just recorded them playing like one of the oh crap, which one was that? Let me see. A Wolfenstein one, and Clock Tower. I went back to PS1 and beat Clock Tower. So,
oh, nice.
So do you do with an Elgato? How do you film your video games?
Yeah, I've been doing with Elgato. Just last week I tried OBS on my hooked up to the monitor. I have that TV monitor here in the computer, and some reason I just couldn't figure out how to get the audio right on that yet. Oh, little Frugal's not having a happy time.
I bought one of those.
You need some time to check up on them.
Computer powerful enough.
Yeah, I think it's just I didn't know what I was doing personally on my end.
Frugal, have you ever got into sorry to cut you off. Have you got into PC gaming?
You know, I don't have like a super powerful PC, so I've played some PC games in the past, but I don't go and get most of them on there. Yeah. Little man, what's going on? Okay, pardon me for one moment, you guys chat. I'm going to help a little one in rage.
Yeah,
no, we've done that.
So, Switchpoint, what have you been up to then? Not much.
Well, mostly just kind of like trying to figure, because I got that I got the new job kind of thing going on.
Get him, bring him here.
And so trying to kind of balance the YouTube life and the job life.
Is there any way we can mute Frugal?
Let me take a look, see if there's a way to mute him. Just for now.
I got kids. I've been through that. That doesn't bother me at all.
Dude, I had an ex with kids. Fucking hell, when I've been on the phone.
I muted him on my end. I don't know if it works for you guys.
It's worked. But yeah, carry on what you were saying though.
Yeah, so I got I got a new job kind of going on. So I've been trying to balance the YouTube life with that new job. But part of me is also kind of happy to happy to be more active on YouTube than I think I've been in a while.
I've noticed you've been a lot more active. I've been enjoying the live streams and that.
Yeah, me and Flabmeister have been doing the live streams, and I think we got ourselves a new person on that live stream as well. Because
I've been chatting to her, but the only thing what I don't like is the SJWs. If you get what I mean, it goes over my head. If you get what I mean, that's why I keep typing. We're trying to get past that stuff. I enjoy. You know what it is? The first stream I locked onto when you're on about gaming, I fucking loved it, mate.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll try. I mean, I've been trying to stay away too much from the SJW thing, because I know there are a lot of people who just want to talk about the fandom. And the last stream, once we were off the SJW stuff, we got it out of the way from the beginning, and then we kind of just sailed on right into the stuff that people wanted to talk about, what we were looking forward to, and stuff like that. And I think that's
a quicksand. It really is, and part of the problem, at least I've found, is I've got videos I'm incredibly proud of, but they don't get views. But I do something about the SJW, and through the roof. So I got to do I got to do stuff like that to pay for the stuff I love to do. It seems like.
Well, I mean, you're gonna get fans who do love that kind of stuff, and then fans who don't.
We do independent comic reviews, and we do the history of comics, and they end up getting maybe 150 to 600 views. Very low. But,
Captain Frugal, you might have to unmute yourself. We had to mute you just. So
we love to do it, so we'll start
basically with me. Yeah, I'm one of them. If somebody goes over the same subject over and over again, I get fucking bored of it, and it goes over my head.
I don't blame you at all. I mean, in my case, I recently did a video today. And I tried to stay away too much from the SJW side of it, where it was they had the new character coming to Legend of Tomorrow Season 3.
Yeah, I did a video on that.
Oh, is that what the new video are about?
Yeah, and in my case, I'm I don't care if the character's Muslim. I want a good character. I think the thing that bothered me the most was okay, if you're gonna have ISIS, the original ISIS, because I actually like read those comics. I mean, I'm a fan of Captain Marvel.
Egyptian goddess Muslim.
Like she's not Muslim in the original comics. She's Egyptian. She's based off the Egyptian god Isis.
So now the only way it can work is if the character herself is Muslim and turns into the Egyptian goddess, but and if they play off the fact that she goes from a Muslim to the Egyptian goddess and they have some sort of religious turmoil, then okay, it makes for a decent story.
Yeah, exactly.
If this gets into religion, I'll shut off straight there.
Oh no, it's not a religion. It's not a religion thing. It's just like her. Originally, she's supposed to be Black Adam's wife.
Yeah.
Like,
but the fact that they brought her in based on politics rather than story, that's what has me nervous about it.
Exactly.
Basically, right.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into this subject, but I'll have to say one thing right now.
Yeah.
The whole world revolves around politics, if you understand. Everything what goes off in this world right now, the war, any national, I can't even pronounce the word, anything what goes wrong in this world, people dying, blah, blah, blah. It's all down to the government and the media promoting fear to do with the religion. Well, basically me. Right.
Wait a minute. We got Mim is in the chat, my man. Mim is in the chat.
Hello, Mim.
Right.
Yeah, awesome.
But like I was saying, the government plays a good part in all this, Religion, to me, I'm Catholic at the end of the day. I didn't want to be Catholic. I'm Irish at the end of the day, half Irish. So I pay a good part of stuff like that. All I respect is, in life, people make a good living, they're nice and respectful, and manners cost fuck all. It don't matter about any race, sex, religion, any background you come from. As long as you show me respect, I will show you respect, if you get what I mean. It goes a long way in life.
No, I agree wholeheartedly.
I am a man of faith. I like to call it faith rather than religion. I'm not going to hide that. But being a man of faith, I take it very personally. What I mean by that is the biggest thing, it's right in the persecution, not to get too religious there on this whole thing. But Jesus answered questions well, and they always try to, what's the most important thing? It really is love your neighbor.
No. The most important thing is family.
Well, and that's love, right? And if you actually love people, you'll respect people. You'll realize we can have differences. I don't have to hate because of them.
Why do you think I got fucking family tattooed there?
And if you haven't been able to tell, I'm all about family.
Honestly, dad, Frugal, when you're a dad, that's when your life begins. At the end of the day, that is when your life begins.
Oh, I'd like to say I had a pretty good life run before that, but it definitely changes. You find, I think you really discover what real love is. When you have these kids.
You discover what love is, but you discover what your mindset is. Once that child is born, that's when your life starts, and that's when you understand providing for another life, apart from your own, is one of the greatest fucking achievements you can ever do in life, my friends.
Crap gets real.
I used to say I discovered what a real man was when I was.
Is that when you discovered porn?
I was singing Barney songs with my kids in the car, and somebody pulled up, and I wasn't embarrassed. I was like, "Yep, that's a real man."
I'm an uncle at the end of the day, so when my mates come over and they see me playing Minecrafts and that, with my nephew and nieces, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing with your son, John?" I'm like, "Being an uncle, enjoying myself. Do never take life serious. At the end of the day, just enjoy the moment, live in the moment. That's all I have to say."
I mean, yeah, exactly. You have to live in. You have to be the man you're supposed to be like, and that means like being the good uncle, being the good father if you're a father, being a good whatever the people need of that male figure in their life. You have to be that person.
You provide as well. At the end of the day, that is one of the most greatest achievements as well. You provide for that other life.
And one of the things I love to do is I love to read to my kids, especially before, right before bed. And I'm currently reading Little Frugal, I call him. I'm reading him Avengers, and he's enjoying that. So, but I'm not reading him new stuff. I'm reading him old stuff because no, thank you. I don't want to start off with that new stuff. It's going to cause more questions than answers. Of course, if I ever get to what it was that annual where, Miss Marvel at the time, now Captain Marvel, got raped and then got pregnant and then fell in love with the guy, I guess, and all that. That's a different story altogether.
My kids, they were young in the 90s, so yeah, they're drinking. My daughter actually said, "Do you want to go to the bar to get some moonshine?" Yeah, okay, thanks, son. But I used to read him the old Archie comics, not Archie like Jughead and all that, but the Fly and the Jaguar and all those. They used to love the heck out of those. DC did some reprints of them, and we would sit down and just read right through them. And after that, they got into manga and totally lost me. But you know.
Getting into manga is not hard. Actually, manga is not that hard. You said find the genres.
You know, that's what a lot of young people tell me. And have fun with it, guys.
I'm old like
you. All right.
You know, I'm old like I love comics there. I'm having a little hard time tiptoeing because, you know, okay, you hear I have young kids, yeah, but you have to realize I started in my 40s with kids, you know, so I went a little late in this run.
Frugal, how old are you really? I thought you were about my age, 28.
In my 40s. so
don't say, look, I'm 47.
You're fucking with me right now.
He's older than me. That's where I'm going.
I'm the oldest one. I think I'm the oldest one in our circle in the group,
right,
the community.
How old are you all?
I'm in my
Am I the
early
youngest
40s.
one here?
I'm 40.
Am I the youngest one here?
You might be.
Might be. I'm actually 29.
You're a year older than me.
I am. Well, actually, it's July, so it's my birthday. So actually, probably.
I share the same birthday as Hitler.
So basically, we can go by chin hair here. The more chin hair you have, the younger you are.
I trim mine.
I blame the lighting. I actually have a bit more chin hair than the lighting perceives. It really doesn't help, okay? Because I get the haircut that they like to consider the Nazi haircut now. I don't know why.
I've got gray hair, so not full gray. Though.
Yeah, without even asking.
Take the mask off. Take the mask off.
That doesn't happen.
No.
Wait, what? You wear that fucking
not even asking, so it happens.
What? I'm sorry. What was that? The gray hair.
Okay.
I said I
Mim is younger
without asking.
Mim is the youngest one in the chat, at least. But Mim, you know, you have some cred, dude. You speak like a person who's been in it for years. So
that's right.
Power to you, my man. As for like because here's the question you have to ask yourself. We can talk about our actual age. What's your age? Like, what's your comic age? Is the real question. Like, how much do you actually know? What is your comic like? Like, where's your stack? Like, where's your stack in the comic? And that is the hardest one to figure out.
I've probably forgotten more than most people have read.
I absolutely know I've forgotten more than you guys have ever read.
I think you beat me on this one. I think you beat me on this one for sure. I love comics, but in my case scenario, like, I'm surprised. Like, I would say my case scenario, I'd probably be maybe like around equal to like where Captain Cummings stands in regards to, like, because I've been in it for quite a few years, but like I was actively more into it like during the last like 10 years.
I'd have to say I'm above that level because I've been reading them for around 40 years. Because I started reading, as I mentioned very early in the broadcast, before 4 on comic books, and I was heavy into them, art and all that stuff, and had an art scholarship. Thought maybe art might be my way, and then I thought, you know what? Music was getting me more chicks, so I went that way.
74, maybe 70, 75 is when I first remember reading comics. So, yeah.
Frugal,
So
you used to make music.
Well, I'm sorry, what was that?
You used to make music.
Yeah, I used to do music. I played a lot of rock, blues, stuff like that.
Dude, I'm a producer. I've had music videos out there. I've been played in America, fucking Australia, and stuff like that.
Wow, that's
I
awesome.
knew it was called fucking Australia.
Yeah. Now I'm washed up.
I've been on BBC One Extra and stuff like that, and that's going back to when I was like more passionate about music, if you get what I mean.
Was
like,
this back before BBC was shit?
Nah, basically my music overruns your music in fucking Canada.
don't even get me started. Like, I'm trying to find a Canadian band that's good.
What, you mean shite?
Oh, jeez. But yeah, I got lucky. Early on, I got picked up for a record. I got picked up for a low-level record label. I got endorsed by stuff right off the rip, and it was like, "Are you freaking kidding me? I can't do anything else. You got my best stuff." You know. So I did a little touring, but it didn't make any mega bucks. And then I got hurt So that, and you know, I still played actually, and I played. I have a recording studio that I built and stuff, but I haven't done anything the last 4 years. When the little ones got born, I said I have to bring my hours of work way down because I'm a workaholic. And I work a full-time job, I work a part-time job, and I ran other stuff on top of that. It was just, you know, I was never home. My little Frugal started going, "Dad, I miss you. I never see you." So it's like, okay, some stuff has.
That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Family means more.
But
I mean, it's always nice to see like when you help little Frugal, when like he comes on to the channel and he beats a game. It's nice because like I get those moments like when I was a kid and when I used to beat, like, it's very enjoyable when you beat that game for the first time as a kid, and it's nice for him because like you're kind of sharing in that experience with him, but he's also sharing it online, and like these are also things that you can always go back and watch these videos and remember when he used to beat these games and stuff like that, you know.
And just for the record,
so nobody thinks I'm not little Frugal used to carry Big Frugal through the game.
Yeah, yeah, there we go. I don't use little Frugal for clicks and money. If you know, I don't run any ads on my videos, just for records. I'm not using them to run money. Oh, and by the way, so this usually freaks people out. See my wrist here? I can just it just comes apart.
The fuck is that? Is that a dildo?
That's my wrist coming apart. So. So wonderful, I know.
Disjointed wrist of awesome.
Is that what you use on Cummings?
Yeah.
That's jeez. So that killed the art career, and I still do a lot of that. I can't operate power tools very well.
Dude, I'm good at that. Switchpoint, you've seen that skull on my back.
Yeah.
I drew that.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, fucking drew that as well. If you all can see it.
Okay. Oh, yep.
Did you tattoo that yourself? Because that would be impressive.
Did I fuck, mate?
No.
I would actually doodle myself. Drew that as well.
Nice.
The roads.
No. I'm now just imagining him like just sitting there, like he does like a thing, like he does the thing like where the guys are like in prison, they like make him seem more hardcore in a movie.
Why does everybody think of being in prison?
No, you've never been. I know you haven't, but like you're
Irish.
That's racist.
I will give mad props to anybody that tattoos American Chavez on themselves.
That's like me saying you're Yanks. Your excuse from this Switchpoint because you're Canadian, you're a frog-licking cunt. But fuck it.
You're a Yank by association.
Well,
yeah.
I thought I was honorary British by association, but apparently no, we're Yank because we're next door.
I'm gonna hit up Captain Cummings and see if he can tattoo American Chavez.
You're not accepted in my circle just yet. Until I beat you, until I kill you online. That's it. You finally until you're my circle.
Okay, that's
and then I'll start bigging you up on Twitter.
So let me ask you: has there ever been a point? I'm trying to not be mean, and other than now that maybe you quit comics for a little while and came back.
Oh yeah,
actually. Yeah, there is actually.
I think everyone kind of has that point where they have to drop off just a little bit. I know there was a point where I was between jobs and I couldn't afford comics, obviously, so I kind of like stopped for a little bit there, and the late 90s. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It sucked. I mean, the late 90s really sucked for comics. I was like, okay, I'm not blowing my money anymore. If they don't care, I don't care. And then
race when I was growing up.
Well, okay, here, you make a really good point because so the late 90s, everyone wanted the same style as kind of like that. They wanted that 90s big guns, big muscles, kind of like. So there was actually a really good point in the 90s where art was really doing good. So like, take a look at like the Todd McFarlane like Spider-Mans and like the and like take a look at kind of like the Jim Lee kind of Batmans and like the Jim Lee Supermans and like stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. But then really came like the really strong muscular design of like the 90s with what's the artist's name right? I can't remember. It's like escaping my mind.
Platt was really bad about it. He was the one that would draw like everybody was the Hulk and they had the veins poking out of the skin.
Exactly. But the funny thing is when he drew it, it actually wasn't so bad. This is the key. Everyone forgets when he drew it, it wasn't so bad because like
you might be thinking Liefeld.
Yeah. Well, Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when he drew it, was because
Well,
he knew how to draw his own style properly and make it seem like it flowed. Even if I wasn't a fan of his art. But the problem is everyone wanted to mimic it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's what the 90s was all about. Even music sucked back then because Nirvana comes out and they're good. NWA came out, they were good. And after that, for the whole 90s, you had everybody trying to be Nirvana or NWA. It was like, okay, we've heard that now. Do something new.
I loved when Nirvana became big and stuff because then you no longer had to be really good to make it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it sounds like a dick thing to say, but I mean, you go from very technical guitar skill and stuff. I remember spending hours learning the Eruption solo and stuff. It'd be going, I could keep my hand like this and play every song in your catalog. You know,
and the singing. I used to do this. I would say, okay, guess what 90s band this is? It's all of them. I mean, they all sounded exactly like that. Good Lord, it was bad time.
Oh, what is it ever?
Like they just kept copying the same thing, and it was bad. So okay, I'm done. So and then in the 2000s, I heard about Hush and the Ultimate Universe. Okay, I'll check those out. And got back into it.
Okay.
Only for DC to kick me out with New 52 again.
You know what?
Okay, well, here's the thing. New 52 wasn't good. I want to point like overall it wasn't great, but there were some good stories in New 52. Like here, the problem is you have to dig for it. It's currently kind of, I wouldn't say it's Marvel's current problem. It was the problem that Marvel now had, where because like they both had kind of the same problem where it's like you kind of had to dig a bit to find it. Like, yeah, there's a lot of books coming out from both ends, but it's not too much that you can't find the good stuff if you're not looking for it.
Well, I keep pointing for Marvel now. Go to Iron Fist or Daredevil.
Oh, Iron Fist. The Iron Fist, the Daredevil from Marvel. Actually, even the Captain America run up until like Sam takes over is not that bad.
Yeah.
Like,
are you on about the TV show or the comic?
Or the comic, the Marvel Now Captain America
run?
run?
Still, the Iron Fist were fucking wank.
Yeah, no, the Iron Fist.
It wasn't horrible. It's just with the other ones, you were like, yeah, that's good. That's good. Then Iron Fist comes along. It's like, that's on TV now. Right. You know? And except Daughter of the Dragon.
Cage, what I will laughing my ass off with the TV show because that made me laugh. If you get what I mean, I don't understand why it made me laugh, but it did.
I'm going to admit, I did like Iron Fist.
Every scene with Daughter of the Dragon and Iron Fist was cool.
No.
But I have complaints about it. But in some, I feel bad for him because what is the actor, Vin Jones or whatever his name was? He only had 15 days to prep for that. So that's one of my biggest things. Like, he does not look like Iron Fist. This guy needs to get not huge, but he needs to be toned ripped, and he needs to be shown fighting. And they didn't have much of that. What saved it, I think, was Colleen Wing. She was freaking awesome in that.
Oh hell yeah! And so, that goes beyond my Asian fetish. I mean, she is just hot to watch. I mean, it's really cool.
No, okay. Yeah. The problem you have with the Iron Fist is that they didn't do. There was no preparation time before filming. It was literally just like, okay, we have him start filming right now. Come on, keep going. And it's like, okay, but like you didn't teach this guy any basic martial arts. You didn't like tone him up. Like. It's like, okay, well, we want to do the Jackie Chan thing or like the Jet Li thing, but we don't want to like do the hard work that leads to it. It's like, well, then why even bothering?
And the fighting wasn't exciting. I wanted to see some really cool, maybe some wire fu kind of kung fu that went with it, something that only that character could do.
You know, and I ran into the same thing with Cage. You know, I was really expecting a lot from Cage because, you know, I grew up loving Luke Cage. And my Luke Cage is the guy that comes down the street. He's just a mean dude. He's pissed off at everything. And this guy's like, my balls were cut off. How was your day?
Well, you know? Cage had a problem because for the first half, the villain had guns and Cage is bulletproof. Yeah. So there wasn't really any drama. But for the last half, I thought it got a little better. But yeah, that first half, it was, okay, let's pick it up, people, pick it up.
Right. And so then after that, when Iron Fist was coming, I was like, oh, yeah, this is going to be a beatdown. Because it seemed like every Netflix show has to have that hallway scene where the hero kicks butt now.
Yep.
And so I was like, oh, Iron Fist is just going to tear this up. And I was like, oh, man, you know, I just didn't get it.
Yeah, and I'm
Iron
sorry.
Fist were pretty cool, actually.
Say again?
I quite enjoyed it. Iron Fist was shit. Sorry, I got a bit confused then. Luke Cage was good. Iron Fist was shit. The New Inhumans looks fucking wank.
Okay. And I'm looking up my Irish to English dictionary. Fucking okay. Yes, bad. Gotcha. All right.
Well, I'm going to look into my American dictionary right now. Thanksgiving. What have you got to be thankful for?
I think you said it earlier. Family was one of the.
That's right.
No,
Yes.
no, you know what I'm on about.
Yes. That's right. Bring your family into this chat so we could teach phrases like fucking wank.
You actually don't want my family in this chat.
And that's why Little Frugal is not in here.
Bring your family in. I'll introduce them to actually.
My kids are 21, 24. They say they actually curse worse than I do now. I don't know where they heard it from.
Did they still say to you, Daddy, I need money?
Of course. Yeah.
You poor bastard.
I am unemployed and they have jobs and they still ask me for money.
Like I said, you poor bastard.
I feel so sorry for you. I would never dream of asking my father
I still get what, over a couple of grand a month?
Actually, they were really cool to me. They took me out to Universal Studios, bought lunch, and
Is this with your Zimmer frame?
Say again?
Is this with your Zimmer frame?
I did not hear. I am deaf, man. What Zimmer friends?
Zimmer frame.
Zimmer. I have no idea what you're saying, man. And it's not the accent. It's literally I don't know what Zimmer frame is. But yeah,
Americans got to learn.
Go figure. Wear it proudly.
Carry on what you're saying, though.
Actually, no. I live here. I work at the theme parks and Disney, so I hear the Irish accent all the time. So, and I'm actually not that hard. It's not hard to understand. You just pick it up. Except for I did run into I guess they're the.
What is it with the Irish these days? We're not all bad people.
Irish. So I'm talking about the Irish. Why would I talk about? Okay, my family's Scottish. I can hear that one. My grandfather was first on the boat over to America in our family.
Yeah, my family. My family's Lebanese. First generation born here myself.
Here comes Switchpoint, for fuck's sake. Why is it always about me?
I want to make.
I can make like a Middle Eastern joke if you want me to.
I want to make a point
for it. Look at
the group we have going right here, and all these comic writer stuff we're a homophobe. We hate people and everything else. Look at the diverse group of people we have here, and how well we're getting along.
Oh yeah.
Really, Frugal? Really? Is this like Breakfast Club?
This is the PSA.
Is this like we sat around the campfire singing Kumbaya every fucking day?
Wait, are we gonna have like that ending with like cheesy like 80s music and like one of us is gonna like walk away
right now if you did that?
You're the best in town. Yeah.
Right,
let's get that beat music going on.
No, you just made me want to drink more alcohol.
All right, you know what? What got me back into comics was the reverse of probably what gets a lot of people out of comics. I took a break from it I just decided to settle down from the music stuff, started trying to make a home for myself, and I went back to college.
Was this in Narnia?
And I decided I was afraid of math, so I got a tutor, and which my tutor was brilliant. I ended up marrying her, but anyway. I lost my train of thought. Anyway, yeah, she's seen my comic collection. And to her, all comic people were nerdy, or most people would think. But she actually had a bunch of Spider-Man comics. So it's like, holy crap, you like them too. And so we made that comic connection there. So it worked out really well. How many people meet a female comic nerd and then boom, it works out. So we've been together for a lot of years after that. By the way, and then I ended up being really good at math and everything else, and teaching statistics and everything else. So go figure what happened there. So
I got into it for YouTube.
Oh, really?
I stopped. Yeah, I wasn't reading new comics, and then I have an eBay business, or I had one, and I thought, you know what? If I go to Thailand, I need something portable. So why don't I get on YouTube, try to get an audience? Didn't know what I wanted to do, and then thought, hey, comic books. I'll talk about that. So I started getting the new issues again. That's it.
Shit, if I got onto YouTube, I'd be banned straight away by saying a couple of things.
Say again.
If I go onto YouTube, I would literally be banned straight away.
Oh,
yeah.
really? That's cool. What would you say?
Listen,
to get banned?
I'm going to send a
couple of
here.
I'm doing it right now.
Okay, all right, cool.
Let's see if
This is why I stick to Twitter, because I can't get banned on there for saying what speaks my mind.
Well,
So
actually,
now they're going to have this new policy where you might just be able to get banned because they've got certain people now looking at the videos and they do not think like we do.
Right.
They have.
I laugh at anything, really. Anything what makes me laugh, I'll post a video.
I've already taken this into consideration because I mirror my videos up to my VidMe channel at the same time as I put them up on my YouTube. So there's also that. But I've also indicated more times than any, like whenever I talk about anything, even if it's like some political BS thing, whatever, I say that, you know what, like I don't like your opinion may vary from mine, and that's fine. I'm just pointing out my point of view. And if they still want to have issue with that, then I'm not the one who looks like the bad guy in that situation. Yeah,
but you would still get booted. Right. That's the whole point. They don't care about that point. They care that you have the wrong thought. So,
I agree with you. I know I agree with you. They that's all they care about. But you know, the best part about it is like, because I actually don't care. Like, I really just don't care if they want to have a differing opinion from me, because that's the point of view. Like, that's what's wonderful about human beings. We can all have very differing opinions. Like, and it's like I say to them, like, you know, if you want to kick me off YouTube, okay, power to you. You know, YouTube, you're going to kill yourself off this way, but power to you.
Yeah. I did the same thing. I use VidMe as well. The VidMe community is nice. It's not as big, but it's very nice.
If YouTube does this and it purges out like all these people, VidMe it'll spike up.
Yeah.
Twitch and VidMe they'll see a spike in their content because guess what? They're the ones who are not kicking people off.
I've never tried Twitch.
Well, from what it looks like, YouTube wants to become a TV station rather than what it is. Mm-hmm. So it's. You know,
I was actually talking to a friend about it. I was actually talking with a friend about it the other day, and he was like, "Well, like, why do you think YouTube is doing it?" And I said to him, "Well, okay, imagine we have TV stations like CNN, like Fox News, and like all those people coming here, right? So what's stopping them from saying, here you go, YouTube. Here's a little bit of money on the side. Can you get rid of that guy over there?"
And to be fair, too, they're not very profitable, so they're probably trying to do something to become profitable. You know, and as much as I want to sound like, hey, you know, screw you, YouTube, for this, you know, that kind of thing, they are a business. They have the right to do what they want. I don't like what they're doing. You know, I really don't. That's one of the reasons I don't run ads, is I don't want to give them that. So I'm just using their platform. So.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, like, power to them. Like, they can do what they want. It's their platform. Let them do what they want to do. I'm just saying, like, I mean, are we really going to lie to ourselves and say like there's no backroom dealings going on? Like, no, there's backroom dealings. No matter which company it is, there's backroom dealings. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like, I'm not saying like, oh, don't do the backroom. I'm just saying like, how do you think some of these channels disappear per se? It's not like YouTube was like, oh, we don't know what happened. No, they know what happened.
Right, can anybody explain to me why I'm getting my Twitter account locked half of the time? Somebody's trying to get into my account.
Yeah, somebody's probably trying to bust in if you have to change your password and stuff, if it's asking.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. I've got my passwords hooked up to my phone and stuff like that. So it generates the codes, and it's like, who the fuck's trying to get into my account?
It could be. I know, like, one of my friends who is who does like news report, who does news reporting for one of the gamer sites, like one of the actual trusted gamer sites, the Gaming Ground. Check them out; they're pretty good. His account actually got hacked, and he was like, he was spamming a whole load of ads to all his friends, and I had to tell him about it. And he was like, "Oh,
no, but Switchpoint, you know me. I don't spam, do I?
No,
I just post random shit.
Like, and that's exactly what it is, right? So,
is it to do with the followers I've got or something?
Yeah, it could be this because you have the follower, like certain followers that you have, certain people you might follow. So what they do is, so some of these people, like, what happened is they'll go after people like us. So specifically, like, they'll go
big
like
accounts.
Yeah, like that are. So they'll go after the big account. If they can't get the big account, then they'll see, oh wait, does he have like a smaller follower? If we can get the smaller follower, then what we'll do is we'll then get the then we'll kind of like fish our way over to the bigger the bigger person on there if we can.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a common like hacking tactic, because what they'll do is they'll be like, they'll go after the easy prey and then they'll work their way up to the harder prey. And
I'm not easy prey though. Fuck that.
oh no, like I'll tell you right now, anybody who is stupid enough not to set up double validation, like that's your thing. And like I mean, the best way is like just don't put too much personal information online. Really, that's the biggest.
I don't even tell people my actual fucking name on there.
Right.
You know,
and that's one of the reasons I wear a mask and stuff is I sort of work in a field that it could kill my career.
Dude,
Yes.
all I get messages is, hello, hashtag this fucking guy. I'm like, do I really need to tell people my actual name?
All right.
Anything like that?
I do want to say Nightwolf Games has joined us as well.
Hey,
I
kid.
am here.
Easy, bro. You all right?
Hello.
Oh,
Okay, I want to ask this because you asked us. Nightwolf, how old are you?
I am 33 years old.
You poor bastard.
Serious. Okay, people say I'm young. I sound younger than I am, but you sound like you're a freaking teenager.
I get that a lot. Okay. Here's the two things that people will
Dude,
instantaneously.
have your balls dropped?
I certainly hope so.
oh man.
I feel
Mine
like
have.
I'm talking
That's
someone of
because of age.
fucking helium over here.
I apologize for that.
It's all right. We got. I sound like I'm from Special Bus and that because I'm half Irish and that. Fuck the world. But yeah.
But what happens is I get confused for one of two things when I'm over the phone.
Feminist.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that was that argument that someone would say, but no, thank God.
Dude,
It's not
I'm
really-
literally sick of this year now. Fuck 2017.
But normally I'm way too young,
Wait,
and I
what?
have
Mm-hmm.
I'm too young, like I'm a teenager, and I have an annoying voice because I've gotten that
Right.
kind
Yeah.
Or two, when I'm over the phone, I get confused for my mom or a lady. I'm not kidding. I get it all the time through telemarketers and everyone else. Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm like, well, gee,
With this
thanks.
crowd, that may have been information you wanted to keep to yourself.
Probably. I'm not afraid.
No, it's all right, my man. I actually have worked for multiple call centers. I can tell you right now that is a very common thing. You're not the only person with a like with that kind of scenario where like you have a voice that doesn't make you sound like the gender that you are or like at the age that you are. You'd be surprised.
It's not so much the ones that ask you, "Are you a man?" It's the ones that go, "Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were a man."
Then that's bad
That
customer
would be a little bit
service.
more-
What you could do, Nightwolf, is just reach under there and pull them down a little bit. Maybe they're not quite all out.
Don't bother
I
because
need-
once
I
you
need
get
more beer for
47,
this
you're
shit.
gonna be down
I
there
will
and-
warn you. When you get older, they will drop lower anyway. The first day you sit on your nuts, you'll.
Yep. You can use
Essentially
them as a
already
blanket
happened.
when you get old enough. You just pull them up to your chin. You can use them as a
Wow.
blanket in the winter.
Frugal's got jokes.
It's okay. It's a trade-off. The good comes with the bad.
That's right.
Yeah.
Of course.
Right. What's his name again? Lone Wolf.
His
Nightwolf.
name is Nightwolf Games.
Right.
Yeah.
When you get touched by the right woman, your balls will drop eventually, my young man.
Or the right dude, whatever.
Yeah, but if she picks them up, then you're hers forever, and it's going to be really bad.
Oh, the good old ball and chain.
That's
Well,
what it's
no,
called.
no.
They have
Like,
your balls. on your
Lone Wolf, I have complete faith in you, Sunshine. When you meet the right woman, your balls will eventually drop, my good sir, and you'll be speaking every time that you're not in this talk.
This was the voice I
Dude,
was.
you be like Switchpoint and Mac Daddy Pimp for fuck's sake.
I don't know about that.
Look at him, the glorious bastard he is. He gets more pussy than me.
Hey,
Just
I
look
get
at him. Just look at him.
I get laid almost every day of the week. I almost get laid Monday. I almost get laid Tuesday. I almost get laid Wednesday. I almost get laid Thursday.
Frugal.
And I think that the key word is almost.
Exactly.
Frugal. We're not on about the right hand and video games. We're not
Well,
on
I
about
did say
joystick,
almost.
We're on about stipping your whip in. I can't even pronounce it. I can't even say it because I'll get kicked you off. Right. Someone that looks like this.
Well, Captain doesn't curse on his own channel, so he brings us on. So,
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay. So what it is like he builds up a quota. He builds up like a back quota of like requirements for swearing, then he gets like a live chat going, and like the swears fly from everybody else.
It brings us on, doesn't it?
Okay, guys, we hit 100 fucks, so stop saying that word. We're good.
Nah, fuck this cunt.
If there was a swear jar, we'd be loaded now.
I think Frugal should start a tip jar.
His voice.
You should start a tip jar on these things so that every time someone curses, then they have to pay you.
Hey, there we go.
Manufacturer, is that you?
What?
Manufacturer, is that you?
Are you what?
Calling you Margaret Thatcher now.
It's not just the old man. The young guy's saying it too. What?
Right.
What's he say? What?
Jesus, is that you?
Jesus, is that you? Okay.
Oh my God, this guy's voice.
Yes, you'll have to get used to it.
I need more beer for this shit.
You guys.
I need more beer.
I'm sorry.
All right. So since
Don't be sorry, bro.
Nightwolf jumped in this, what got you started into comic books, Nightwolf?
Let's see. I think I did this story before on someone else's video. Well, I first got interested in Spider-Man when I was at one of the local stores out here, and they had one of those anniversary things where they had people in costumes and whatnot, and Spider-Man jumped out, gave me and my brother autographs, and we were like, oh, that's a really cool character. We like that. And then the 90s happened, and I got to watch all the animated series, and then I started reading the comic books after that.
Okay.
A lot of people jumped on because of the 90s series. Of course, I was way before that, but
That's true.
Yeah, we were super friends.
yeah.
I watched that too.
Super Friends and Thundar the Barbarian, the Galaxy Trio, all of those people, you guys have no fucking clue what I'm talking about.
Oh, yes.
Don't be so sure.
I don't know, man.
Our
My
friend was
was-
Battle of the Planets and Speed Racer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Speed Racer, my man. Speed Racer.
I remember watching that.
Here comes Speed Race. Yep.
Then,
Switchpoint,
all right,
did you play
again.
that with Captain Cummings?
I'm sorry, what is that?
Did you play that with Captain Cummings, Speed Racer?
No, I did not play that with Captain Cummings. Sorry.
I thought you were
Guys,
too
it's
well.
dinner time over here. I've got to go. Oh, shit.
No, I love busting his balls over this, man. It's just it's how I get banter with him.
Everyone's taking hits in here today.
Hey, you just got to roll with the punches.
Everyone has a turn, my man. Everyone has a turn. That's just how it works.
I have to go. It's chow time, guys.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did you say
So I
turn
have to
on
go.
or
It's
turn?
chow time.
All right.
dude.
Fair
Take
enough,
care.
fair enough.
Nice having you here.
Have fun.
Thanks,
Thanks for
man.
having me on, dude.
Peace out, man. That was good having you, a lot of comics.
All right, so that was I Love Comics. You got to hear a little bit about his story. Awesome. And how we got back
Yeah,
into
you're from
comics. as
Irish
well.
as well. Cunt.
Oh.
All
So
right.
mean this.
I'm not me. I just speak my mind.
Since we're
Yeah,
talking
that's
comics and games, do you have a particular comic book video game, comic book hero game that you like?
Comic book? What do you mean exactly?
Well, a video game that's based on a comic character.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I played a lot of them. Let's see. I liked Spider-Man 2 for the movie game. That one was fun.
Okay. Was that on the
Ultimate
N64?
Spider-Man. No.
Okay.
Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 2.
Okay.
All right.
I
And then
played,
Ultimate Spider-Man?
yeah, also on the PlayStation 2.
Okay. I beat that on PlayStation 2 as well.
I've played a large majority of Spider-Man games, but Marvel Ultimate Alliance was a lot of fun too.
Yeah, I dug that one.
No, no game can ever beat Croc PlayStation 1.
PlayStation 1 Croc.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
we're talking about games that are based off of comic book characters. Was Croc based off of comic book at all?
For me, I mean,
I'm a bit drunk right now, so don't mind me.
For me, like when it comes to comic book related games, I'm gonna have to go with like Batman Arkham City, just because that one really like. Well, okay. First thing is like it really like evolved from the first one. So Arkham Asylum was really good, but Arkham City like gave you the open world environment, which became a staple in the series, and then and then like still kept a lot of the aspects of what you liked about the first one.
Those are fun games too.
I beat Arkham. I have the City one. I haven't played it yet. So it's on my large shelf backlog of games I haven't got to. Somebody, a conservative nerd, mentioned Ultimate Alliance as well. I agree. I really love that game. I've never got Ultimate Alliance 2. Every time I see it, it's always expensive. I have not found that cheap.
Oh, yeah, Ultimate Alliance 2 and Ultimate Alliance 1 recently skyrocketed in price.
I wonder why.
No. There's a reason for it, obviously. It's kind of like, because, like, okay, so the rare game thing kind of goes in per collections. So
Right.
NES was the first one that kind of like did it with like, because like collecting retro games became a thing.
Right.
And so then after that, like the Super Nintendo collecting skyrocketed too. So those are the first two. Then the Genesis games kind of started going up in price, and then like the CD, what was the like the PC Engine game started going up in price. Like all these ones that start going up in price because they're old games or something.
They become collector's items.
Yeah, it's
sort of.
silly.
Even though they're easy to find, they're not that hard to find.
I have a pretty extensive collection, but I'm not a collector. It's just, I grew up when I started getting them. I just don't sell them. I keep them. I mean, I have Atari 2600, and things like that. I know, laugh away, but that's what I grew up on. I'm going to do a video about that too with Popeye eventually there too. And I remember getting that 2600, and I always remember because I'd go to the arcade and I couldn't afford to play those games. So I'd poke my fingers in to see if there was a quarter there, if I could get one. But otherwise, I'd sit around and watch and laugh away. I know because I grew up dirt poor. Well, anyway,
I get it.
And I finally, got to be able to play some games. What it is, I saved up for a long time. And as I mentioned earlier in this cast, by selling stuff and things like that, I got a used Atari 2600. I was like, yes, I'm going to play these games. You get them, you pop that cartridge. It's like, it's just nothing like the arcade. But
yeah, that was the case, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I still loved it. I loved being able to have those, and I just kept them. So I mean, I have Atari 2600, 7800, Genesis, Super Nintendo, Dreamcast, PlayStation 1, 2, Commodore 64 I have up in here.
Nice.
I just because I don't get rid of them, and then I just try to buy games when I can score them cheap. $10 for 4 or a garage sale or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've got this huge pile over here of games in my backlog I haven't even played. And there's people like, I got Last of Us, Evil Within, Tomb Raider, Far Cry 3. It's like, I'm never going to get to these. I just played BioShock not too long ago. It's like, hey, this was a good game.
I love BioShock. Such a good game.
Yeah. And I have 2 and 3. I beat Halo. I played Halo for the first time a couple months ago. Feel like, you've never played Halo? Like, no. I'm the one person on Earth, evidently.
Yeah. Halo is really what changed up a lot of like what was arcade shooter, at least. I mean, like, it did something very unique by like kind of like mixing it up with like this arcade meets like military style shooter in a weird way.
Yeah.
Well, the questions here is somebody put in there. Conservative Nerd did it. Anybody read any Image? I read some Image earlier on when it was a big craze, and I really didn't like it a whole lot. But
I'm trying to remember what I read from Image.
Oh, I read The Walking Dead.
Hack Slash. Image used to have the license for the Hack Slash books. I know I read those because I actually have like the omnibus up until like the series ended. No, but I hear the series got a revival recently, and I'm not sure if I want to reread it because I don't know if the original writer is back to write it or if it's like somebody new. But always like okay, so for anybody who's interested, Hack Slash is like the hunter who hunts the killer kind of scenario. So
Basically.
Oh, nice, the 5 ghosts. So in the Hack Slash series, you follow the story. So instead of like the weak female who's like I get hunted down by the killer, like or something like that. Yeah, they hunt those killers themselves. So it's kind of interesting because so they go after characters that are similar to that of like the Chucky or similar to that of like the Recreator or something like that. Like those characters actually showed up in the book at some points. And that's it's kind of cool because like you're not following the victim who's like being chased by the villain. You're following the person who's literally trying to stop the villain from chasing the victims.
It's an interesting premise for a story.
Oh yeah, it's actually the guy. You know, the guy who wrote it is the guy who's currently writing Nightwing.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
yeah,
that's cool. I've only read the first issue of that, or the Rebirth issue. One shot.
I have Invincible on my list to read as well. So
I've read some of that. That was pretty good.
Invincible's pretty good. The great thing about Invincible is it's kind of like a what if Superman story almost in a weird way. And it also goes and delves into some really freaky shit like around certain parts of the issue that I think is kind of cool to look into. Because one of the things that like happens to the main character is the main character actually does get I don't want to ruin it for you, but like he does actually go through a certain scenario where like there was no controversy over it other than like in certain comic book boards, so like comic book fans are actually talking about it. But like I
think I might know what you're talking about too.
But the news will never talk about it. I don't want to ruin it for anybody who plans to read the series.
Yeah, I won't ruin it, but I think I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah, you probably do.
Because I didn't read very much of Invincible, but I watch videos of people talk about comics and video games and stuff, and sometimes someone will talk about Invincible and then they'll spoil it, and I'm like, gosh darn it, that would have been a nice surprise. Oh well.
Oh yeah, the Ash books from Dynamite. Yes.
Yeah, I've read one of them. I read the one where it was the Ash versus Vampirella one. that was a treat.
I'm down for anything Ash. I am a huge Bruce Campbell fan and Evil Dead fan. Absolutely. I mean, I beat the Evil Dead games too.
I think one of my friends actually bought some of those Ash comics way back when. I don't remember which ones he bought though. It may have been Ash versus. Oh, it was Ash versus Freddy versus Jason.
Okay.
Those were.
I heard that one was pretty fun. I keep meaning to read that one because I've read there was some like Freddy versus Jason comics that were really like went into some stuff. Those are pretty good, and if it's like this, if it's kind of similar to what that is, then that'll be a good time.
I read the Ash versus Marvel Zombies. I think it was quite a while ago.
Is that one? I don't remember.
It was several years ago.
What is up with Marvel? They're not really doing much crossovers recently. I've noticed.
No, does anybody really want to do anything with them?
I don't know. I mean, like DC's like crossovering with Image and Dynamite and like everybody. Like
Image,
Marvel,
Dynamite, IDW.
Yeah, and then Marvel's just like we're not. Like why? Like TMNT Batman was like one of the best things ever, and like then you have like something like Star Trek and like Green Lantern. Like
I do remember one crossover they did. They did a crossover with the creators of Attack on Titan.
Yeah, Attack on Titan was dope as fuck.
Yeah, and they did a crossover but with Marvel characters in Attack on Titan.
Isn't Scott Snyder meant to be doing an Attack on Titan comic?
Is he?
It's what I heard about last year. He's meant to be doing a graphic novel. Well, an illustration on Attack on Titan. I actually think that'd be dope as fuck.
Probably.
I think it'd be good. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Attack on Titan stuff. I see the appeal.
You are not a fan of Attack on Titan. Why are me and you friends
And here
again?
comes the fight.
Why are me and you friends again?
Yeah, man. Like, you got
Switchpoint? No. Let me cut you off right there. I'm not showing no love to your channel no more. Me and you are no longer fellow DJs just because you said you didn't like Attack on Titan, and I am still a bigger pimp than you.
Fair enough. You can go ahead and be the pimp.
Hey, I would big slap you just for saying that. I'm only joking, but yeah, you're so bastard.
I liked Attack on Titan initially for the first few episodes until I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who's either never read or watched the show.
I've got the graphic novel, the Colossal Edition. I've watched the TV show, and I've watched seasons too.
I'm referring to everybody in chat. I'm not referring to anybody.
Oh, fuck Switchpoint. I don't care.
No, by all means. For me, like the thing I'm really into right now is the My Hero Academia just because like, that does what I think Marvel's trying to do, but does it 100 times better. Where it's the heroes, the generational heroes, kind of taking over from like the previous heroes type of thing.
Yeah,
and but it doesn't like shit all over the previous heroes. It literally just says, hey, like these heroes were still great in their time, but like they're getting old now, so we're going to train the next generation of heroes. And that's like, You know,
Yeah.
and I think that's like what Marvel needs to be doing, not what they're doing.
I have a video planned, or not planned, but I already recorded it. I need to edit it eventually, but I have one for My Hero Academia because I watched the first 3 episodes.
You edit your videos?
Yes.
What do you think with a voice like that? He has to fucking edit his videos.
You think I don't edit videos?
I was kidding. That was just a cheap joke.
With a voice like that, squeaky voice.
With this voice?
Dude, he sounds like Pee Wee Herman on Helium.
You know what? I mean, what he could do is he get like one of those get Clownfish, the voice changer.
Right.
Yeah.
No. Listen, I love It the Clown. This fucker don't sound like him.
No. There's a program called Clownfish for your PC. It's a voice changer pro.
And Frugal's like, never let John on the stream again.
You know, just for record, keep your voice just the way it is. It makes you sound different than everybody else. More power to you, man.
You know what? I've come to grips with it. I know I have an annoying, irritating voice to many people.
No, I think it stands out. It's different. I would never guessed how old you were, though. But, you know.
Especially considering I don't show my face all that often, but when I do, I don't know. I still probably look pretty baby-faced when I do anyway. So.
Well, you know,
I bet you're glorious. I bet you're glorious. Come on, don't be shy.
I've been told I have a radio voice and a radio face.
Is that the reason why you wear the fucking cap?
This is just to preserve identity. As I said, my career would frown upon this. This could
with the grey hairs.
Well, the gray is I can't help that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm going grey. I'm already fucking 28 years old.
I got a bit of gray too, sadly.
I wish I could say I only had a
Switchpoint of receding, bless him.
No, actually not that bad.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I've always actually had it's always pulled back a little bit more on the sides.
Switchpoint. Hoes don't say that. They rather take your money and say you're gorgeous and shit like that. Other people say, no, you're receding, bro. Fuck off.
Yeah, well, I'll need you to prove that I'm receding first.
There you
go. Right.
All right.
To England, I'll introduce you to a couple of women. We'll give you a fucking
Since we have a group of gamers too in here, what's the last game you've beat?
The last game I beat?
Yep.
Prostitute.
Last one I beat was in the first Injustice story mode.
Okay.
That was actually
Injustice 1 or 2?
Injustice 1. I'm working through 2 right now.
I beat every character, won it with every character on Injustice. So.
I've just gone through the main story mode, so.
Well, I did that with every character. So.
For me, normally it's I go through the entire story mode, and if there's any online components and I want to play online, I will play online. But most of the time, it's like, I just want to play through the story. I want to learn what's going on.
That game had a good story. It really did.
Yeah.
The comic book.
I think the Injustice 2 is a bit much though. Like the first one, like delves into the what if Superman loses everything in the storyline. Oh, okay.
You guys can continue.
Okay. Yeah, because the first one delves into the what if Superman was evil storyline, and like that's been done before. But I think the second one is a bit much because it's like, now what if Superman was a douche?
Okay. Yeah, I haven't touched that one. I refuse.
What if Superman were a Trump supporter?
Yeah. What happened with me is I seen it and it had the multiple price points. And I was like, I'm out. You know, you have to pay $100 to get the game with all the guys. I mean, come on. Yeah.
Well, with the Steam sale, I picked up Shadows of Mordor for £3 with the Game of the Year edition.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, like you'd be surprised at the sales you can get. Like
that was a great game. What else did I pick up? Divinity, Original Sin. Switchpoint, you need to play that game because it's fucking ace.
The last one I did, I think, was Castlevania, and I think before Castlevania, what did I beat before that? Bioshock. It was Bioshock before that.
Okay, I'm back.
You didn't hear that. Thank God you didn't hear that.
I caught it. I just sort of let it slide through.
The best game in my entire life I ever played with Baldur's Gate.
Okay.
D&D.
You must have got pissed when they did that patch.
What patch?
The one where they added the trans character or some bullshit to it or something. It wasn't like they didn't make sense.
We've already got a transgender dude in the fucking chat. What else is that gonna matter?
Ouch.
I'm only joking, bro.
Oh, I know you're joking. I know. I
For
can
the people
tell.
interested,
Love me,
though,
love me. Give me a hug. I embrace you as one of my own.
embrace it. For the people in the chat
Digital-
I won't
or
embrace
were
Switchpoint,
interested,
though. Me and him just got a rivalry.
it has to be. That's part of it. It's part of
that's
it.
the thing.
It's part of our thing that we do now. Voltron season 3 is up, guys. For anybody who's interested,
Ooh.
Wait, what? What's up?
So season 3 of Voltron just came out on Netflix. For the people who like the first 2 seasons.
Nah, fuck
I
Netflix. Why do you want to use that bollocks when you can use 1, 2, 3 movies and fucking code it?
Well, whatever. Season 3 of Voltron is out now, so definitely
I need
worth
to catch up on that one.
It's really good. I watched the first 2 seasons.
Did anybody watch The River when it came out? Did anybody watch that?
I can't say I have.
Dude, oh my god. One season, it's by Supernatural and Lost. Basically, they're in the Amazon rainforest, and I love shit like that, me. And after one season, they left it on this cliffhanger, and I'm like, give me more, give me more. I want to, if you get what I mean. You ever gotten so invested in a TV series, and it just cancels it?
Yeah, many times it's happened.
And it's like, why would you do that to me? Why would you play on my emotions like that, you evil bastards?
That's happened to me a few times. Firefly.
It's like Switchpoint when his emotions get on. Yeah, I'm gonna get onto a Google Hangout with Cummings, and he don't.
You know how it is. You know, excuse me. I just having some new sheets that need to be cleaned after I'm done.
I bet they do as well after you've been friend zoned so many times.
Oh, jeez. So you're just saying you got friend zoned by Captain Cummings? Is that what you're saying?
Oh my God, Frugal's got jokes. Frugal, I love you, bro. You know you're my boy, and that I just like ripping piss out of you.
Hey, I'm all for it. It's just fun. It doesn't hurt my feelings.
Switchpoint's just waiting till I'm going to report you for spam, you little motherfucker on Twitter. I'm going to take your empire down. You little Irish bastard.
So has there ever been a video game that you started playing and you just never finished?
All of them.
It
happens a lot to me, actually. I don't finish games sometimes, and that's why I started my YouTube channel in the first place. Like, I need to dedicate my time and my energy to actually finish something, and I rarely finish
power,
games. Yep. I had to finish something, so.
Right, the one game what I never finished, Skyrim.
I haven't even started it. I'm afraid to. I hear it so long.
Dude,
you can be forgiven for that. For not finishing.
Right, Skyrim is a rite of passage. Okay. You've got to play the motherfucking thing.
I have it. It's on my shelf.
Frugal, I will bitch slap you if you don't play that fucking game right now.
I plan eventually. So it's like, when am I going to have the time?
Frugal, I will rip that mask straight off your face if you do not fucking play that game.
I will try. Maybe I'll live stream it.
I will literally unfollow you if you don't play that fucking game.
All right
now.
Well, I can't do it now.
Do it now.
Maybe I'll pop that in after I get through that Left 4 Dead.
Frugal, I will expose your grey fucking hairs if you don't play the bastard thing now.
Look at this. He's threatening you and everything.
I know it.
Switchpoint, shut the fuck up. I'll go over there, bitch. Slap you, motherfucker.
I'll have to try it. Maybe I'll do that one live so everyone can tell me
I will literally make you play shower with your dad.
Maybe I'll do it live so everyone can tell me how dumb I am. I don't know what I'm doing in the game.
It's all, brother.
Because I'm a completer. I have to. If I play a game, I have to beat it. I can't just start and not. But there's a couple that's eluded me. One that's eluded me is Battletoads. I have not beat Battletoads.
The one game what I actually loved playing when I were growing up in the 90s when PlayStation 1 came out, Mickey Mouse. Was it Adventures or I don't know? Mickey Mouse, the game, the PlayStation game.
Yeah, he was like. There's a lot.
He starts off black and white, and then when he got further into it, he started off in a castle.
I think I know which one you're talking about. I mean, I can't remember the name of that. I've never played it.
Yeah.
Are you thinking of the one where you had like the paintbrush?
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, okay. What's the name of that one again?
I can't remember the name of it, but fucking hell, that brought me back. I love playing that. And then there were Pandemonium, if you remember that.
Yeah.
Fucking good game. And Spyro, all you know is, I wish they brought games out what were polished and finished, just like when I was growing up on the PlayStation 1, Nintendo, fucking Echo the Dolphin and stuff like that.
Well, that's part of the problem. They're pushed to get these games out, and sometimes they know they're not done.
And they still want more like early access games, and they still want money, if you get what I mean.
Exactly.
Unless you're Square Enix and you decide that you don't want to release a game until it's about 10 years later.
No. The only two games I've literally bought DLCs for was Skyrim, Fallout 4, and The Witcher 3. Switchpoint knows about The Witcher 3. This is why he's classed as a friend in my eyes.
Oh, Witcher 3 is like just such an epic game, though. It's so huge.
Dude, how good is that Blood and Wine DLC? Dude, have you got that far?
You know, I need to start because I actually need to start that DLC because I do have it. I just need to start it.
Dude.
But like the thing is, you get so lost in that game with the amount of shit you can do.
Yeah.
And you're like, I probably should start doing that other thing that I should do.
No, you know the thing about The Witcher 3? The side quests after side quests, you just start wandering around and stuff like the world, though, the music. How amazing is it?
Oh, the music's wonderful. Like it does bring you right into the atmosphere.
Dude.
Like, it's not even like the because like it's not like heavy scores. It's music that kind of feels like it fits like the atmosphere that you're in. That's what it is, right? It's like,
it makes you feel more part of the game.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean. Who do you prefer, Yennefer or Trish?
So okay, I've been because here's the thing.
Have you got to the recent scene yet?
It depends. If I'm following the books and I'm following like the storyline of the books, I'm gonna go with Yennefer. But if I'm following like kind of for like
Switchpoint's face right now, he's getting
just for the appeal, you're gonna go with Trish because Trish is into just cause like you want Trish for the appeal, but you want Yennefer because
dirty bitch for the posh accent and sound like my exes, bro.
Exactly.
Look at his face right now. He's like, yeah, I need to get over to England and meet these posh bitches.
Well, we won't be much longer.
No. You know what, Frugal? When I message you, women in England read comics? Yeah, come over here and that, bro. You'll get hooked up.
Yeah, the other game I can think of that I have never beat was the first Final Fantasy. I had a lot of hours into it, and then my wife's younger brother erased my game to start a game on.
I hope you bitch slapped him. I hope you knocked the little bastard out.
I refuse to ever pop that game in and play it again. It's like, I'm
Switch
done.
Point.
I'm
If
out.
somebody ever erased your saved data, what would you do?
what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
No. Basically, if you put how many hours into that game, like 700 hours, and someone wiped your PC clean, what would you do?
Well, I would be like, dude, you are. Okay. I'd be like, I'd sit that person down, and I'd be like, guess what? You're fucking building up those hours for me right now.
No. That's after you fucking knock the bastard out straight away, and you'd be like, yo, motherfucker, you playing this game for me, bro? And you cannot get back them hours you sunk into a game.
No, you can't, man. Like, especially if it's something like you really, really like, just put a lot of hours into.
If a game proper captivates you and stuff like that, and you just the nostalgia of the game, if you get what I mean, it's like Baldur's Gate for me. I'm like, my nephews went there, I've chopped his fucking land off.
Well, okay, imagine so how many hours did you put into like a game? Like, let's say what it is, like whatever, like let's say Kingdom Hearts is the game that you really love. You put so many hours into it. Let's say the game was yeah. What if it was like Final Fantasy 6? What if
or 7?
Or dude, Dino Crisis for me. That were it.
Yeah, Dino Crisis. What if it were like heck? Let's say like you were working to that 100% of Mario 64. You know what I mean?
Old school.
Yeah. But like that is hours right there. No matter what those are hours, and then somebody comes along and they're like, erase.
Sit.
I 100%ed Lego Batman.
That was
that's
I
good.
That though.
No, on Steam though it's different. It tells you your hours and stuff like that. But dude,
the bonus thing for Steam, almost all those games. So if your hard drive is messed, at least all those games, a good chunk of them, like at least 95% of them, go to the cloud save. So That's what I love about Steam. It's like, oh, I lost my hard drive. My hard drive died. Pop in a new one, give it off the cloud. I'm good to go. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All right, I guess how about to wrap this up? Let's try to hit them 10 more minutes. Wrap it up at 7, so we don't go too terribly long. What would be your ideal comic book?
Ideal comic book.
I mean, it could be one that currently exists, but change it up, or
Hellboy. I've got the library editions. That is one of the greatest reads I've ever read in my life.
Okay.
And apart from what have I got? Saga. That is a good fucking read.
Saga is a good read. Saga's good. For me, like if I want to choose my ideal comic book, I would love to. I'd like to see like a hack slash comeback, but like go back to like it's kind of like go back to its roots, and kind of like, but this time introduce like more iconic like villains from like the hacks, like from these old hacker like movies and stuff like that, man. Because that's what I want to see. I want to see Freddy in there. I want to see Jason in there this time. I want to see like. Let me
show you right now what.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, I have that entire collection. I have the entire collection of that. I don't have the omnibuses. Such a great read. The Jeff Johns run from
Dude, I need volume 3, but this right here sucked me into Green Lantern. Such a great
I'm glad you're
read.
The Jeff Johns stuff is just like some of the best stuff.
And dude, this month the Aquaman omnibus is getting released. I mean the big fuck off thing.
Oh, nice.
I am definitely picking that up. The new 52 as well. I've been dying to fucking get into that.
The Aquaman New 52 run was one of the better ones for sure.
Have you read it? How good is it though? Switchpoint. Can you just don't spoil it for me? But how good is it?
One of the great things about it is like they constantly prove like how awesome Aquaman is in it, but like and like they like have like this because one of the funniest things about it, Jeff Johns likes to do the Aquaman is a joke, and then Aquaman does like something really awesome, and everybody's like, oh shit, and it's like because like that's one of the that was one of the better books from the New 52. That and Flash were probably my favorite ones. Those two.
So how about you, Nightwolf?
One thing that I would like to see more of is probably some more Mobile Suit Gundam related books to come out in English. There are some that just, there are some that have never been officially printed. You can read them online because they've been like fan translated.
I didn't even know Gundam had comics or manga.
Yeah, they have mangas that have side stories and added content for shows and whatnot, and even full runs of the shows.
I used to watch that as a teenager. I used to love that Gundam Wing and Tenchi Mudo.
Tenchi Muyo was pretty good, yeah.
I have like the first volume of Gundam the Origin, which was the comic version for the original show, which I love. It has fantastic art. It is. It's expensive though. I'll give you that. It's pricey because they're all hardcover books. They're all hardcover. They're I think they cost about $30 retail. But they're big, so they're pretty big size. So
yeah, that's actually the funny thing about the Gundam series is like each Gundam series is actually connected. They just take place during different generations of the same universe, so they're all like self-contained stories at the same time. I found that I always found that really weird and cool.
There are some that are like that. A lot of the original Gundam Universal Century stuff, it's all connected. They're just new characters in the same timeline. Then you get into all those other stuff like Gundam Wing and Gundam 00 and Seed, and they're all alternate Earths. It's like,
see how fucking heavy this is and standing in one hand.
Anywho, what about you, Captain Crook? What would you like to? What was your ideal?
I'd go nostalgia route. I'd take me back to my childhood and give me classic Avengers. You know, the superheroes that are the classics, but yet they don't get along.
The Phenom. I can't even pronounce that word. Right. My brain does not want to really fucking speak that word.
I want Captain America with Iron Man and Thor and Wasp and Giant Man, you know, and not get, you know, they get the job done, but yet they never get along. You know, I just love those classic ones. You know, they're always going to be somebody that's going to stand up and do that epic thing. You know, they're going to do what's right because you just don't get that anymore. You know, I don't want an Avengers book where the whole Avengers team is taken out like chumps, and then Miles Morales takes the guy out like it was nothing. You know.
But don't you know, Miles Morales is like the best because he's so diverse.
Well, and I'm not picking on Miles. I actually think he's a good character. He was the best thing from Ultimate Universe, and I wish they would have kept him in there. And that's not, once again, me being mean. I think it degraded his character bringing him over to the traditional Marvel Universe because now it's another Spider-Man. Spider-Man's about as diluted as it can get now.
You've had about 10 different versions of fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not bring him back to the original Spider-Man, what we all love, not that fucking JSW bullshit, what we fucking hear today. The original Peter Parker, the original Amazing Spider-Man, what I've got on the omnibus by Stan Lee.
Yeah, where Spider-Man's smart. He's not an idiot. He can make the good decisions. He uses the humor to beat the foes. He's actually got that anger because, you know, even though he was a temperamental guy. If you look, he was tempered. He would get pissed.
But not to go off the subject, but Captain, what do you think to the Venom movie? What's getting made?
I'll be surprised if it even gets made, to be honest with you.
Dude, it's already getting made. It's in development right now. Tom Hardy is a leading fucking role.
I know they claim that, but they've had stuff said like that before and it's fallen through.
Listen to this.
Well, but
the Doctor Doom movie is going to get made.
Oh,
they're going to do him justice for once.
They better, because they've screwed up Doom every time.
No. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed the Doom from the Fantastic Four, the new one what came out, but I did not enjoy the Fantastic Four. I enjoyed that portrayal of Doom, if you get what I mean. The Doom were an hardcore motherfucker.
I see what you're trying to say.
Yeah. I mean, I think if all those batches they're talking about, Venom probably has the most likelihood to be made. I'm not really looking forward to it, though. I mean, how are they going to... He's a hard character.
Me and you are no longer friends. Why would you say a thing like that?
Well, here's why. I think it would be incredibly hard to make a movie with a good plot and character. I read...
You've got fucking Tom Hardy in there.
Right, but I'm not, picking on the actor. I think
that's the main thing, though. Who's going to play Carnage?
Right. I need a good story, though, not just an actor can be great and be in a bad plot, and it's going to be terrible. And Venom's had a history of bad comic books. I mean, I've read all those miniseries. I almost did a video on it, but I got so sick of doing it. And I was like, I don't like this. I didn't even bother. They were just terrible, and I'm hoping it doesn't end up like that.
Well, I think the concern that you run into with Venom is like, is this just a movie that's being put out so that they can keep the rights for the Spider-Man?
Right.
The thing with me, what's sucked me in, it's going to be a horror style, R-rated. It's got Tom Hardy in it. You know Tom Hardy's a sick actor. And as long as they find the perfect actor for Carnage, I am sold on the fucking film. I am literally sold on it there and then. As long as I see a trailer before October, I will literally be sold. If it looks shit, I won't.
The problem I have is selling him as the hero. I mean, I've seen him good as the hero when it was Flash Thompson running around. But the Venom I liked was the Demented. As he very first started, he was a nutbag.
What if you don't sell him as the hero, though? What if this is just selling him as just like the villain? You know what I mean? Like, what if this is just like a villain story?
No. They've got to get him as a fucking villain. They've got to get him as that anti-fucknut, if you get what I mean.
Yeah,
they've got to get him as a person what can't control these powers, and he kills people, and then he slowly meets Venom, and then you see what I mean? He's got to take control of the symbiote, what's controlling him.
Yeah,
if you get what I mean.
As long as they can make it something to make you care about him and make him not a one-note character. I mean, because
he's fucking Venom. I care about him anyway. He's a badass.
Yeah. So the best way to do it is make it kind of like that horror movie where Flash is the good guy and Venom is the villain, and like Flash is trying to control the Venom. He's trying to.
It's like Jekyll and Hyde, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
He's got to take control of it. If you get what I mean. Somewhere between this movie, we're going to see him. He's going to love this power.
Right. And I could get into that. The other one that has me even more on the fence is what they say, Black Cat and Silver Sable.
Yeah.
I like both characters. I really do.
But they don't feel like they're selling solos. They feel more like they're supporting characters. They're not.
Right.
Yeah.
they don't have a big history together in the first place. So it's just like, let's throw some chicks together and hope it works. I mean, just do a plot right, like Wonder Woman, and make a movie, for crying out loud.
Wonder Woman were a great film. I ain't gonna lie. If I got stuck on that island, I'd be having kids right there and right now.
Yeah, I don't think any of us would kick her out of bed.
I'd be going up to them like, you want some Irish dick in you? Yeah.
Have fun. And hope that they don't cut your dick off.
I've been making little miniature versions of me. But yeah, I understand what you're saying, Caps. It's like you've got to have that storyline. What sucks you in, like a video game? What sucks you in?
Yeah.
You've got to have that trailer.
Yeah, Sony's got a sketchy. Sony's got a sketchy reputation currently, even for their own video game company. They've been kind of sketchy lately, and it doesn't look good on them.
It's like Fantastic Four. They released so many trailers, what got me hyped, and I watch them like, they got the thing right. They got Doctor Doom kind of right, but
look, I think I'm one of the only people that actually likes the thing, like the design they had for him in the original movies with Michael Chiklis.
Yeah.
Because
I he turned into stone and he rose up into like this big meathead cunt.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like the new one just felt like too much. Like we want him to look like a golem, like from the new Fan 4-stick one. And I'm like, I get it, it looks cool, but I'm like, I also like what Michael Chiklis was doing, because Michael Chiklis, you could tell he really like had a love for the character because he read those comics. Like he was a big Fantastic Four fan. And I know like those old movies were cheesy, but you know.
Hell, the dude were in King Kong and he played Billy Elliot. If you know the film Billy Elliot, the Battle. Yeah, British class is fucking funny as fuck, that. But yeah, going back onto Venom though, I've got to see the trailer. I've got to see how Venom is, how he is with the symbiote, how he confines and battles the thing. And as soon as he meets Carnage, I want to see how the story folds from there. Because if I see if I see Carnage onto a screen, that's me tucking my fucking pants at the screen, take my money, take my mum and dad. I don't give a shit no more. I just want to see this fight. It's like Kong versus Godzilla, the big fight of the century. You just want to see it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess
it's like Conor McGregor versus Mayweather. I just want him to knock him out for some reason. Not McGregor. I actually want to see him knock Mayweather out. But you get what I mean? That big fight feel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You've got to see it in like Logan. How amazing was that film? If you two have ever seen it,
I've seen it. I think it was really good. I mean, like I had my some small gripes with it here and there, but overall, it's a really good film, well worth watching.
How did you feel at the end though? That feeling though, seeing him. Yeah,
that ending has all the
feeling.
The end was that's where all the feels were for sure.
Yeah,
you know it's good if it gives you the feels.
Yeah.
No, how we said though. So this is how it actually feels, and that I'm just like, who's gonna replace him though as Wolverine?
I think they're gonna try to get that the X-23 girl, like the little girl, to replace him.
It will never be Wolverine though. I'm used to Jackman. He is Wolverine in my eyes.
No, and I just hope she doesn't call herself Wolverine. I want her just to call herself X-23 because X-23s are a good character, and I think that's the way they keep it.
Yeah.
I know my brother would be really happy with that if they did X-23 movies.
Dude, that would be pretty dope. But the one thing why I'm looking forward to is the new Star Trek TV show. Discovery, whatever it's called. Is anybody a Trekkie fan in there?
I watched some of the. I haven't watched everything. I watched all the Next Generation and the bits and pieces.
See, Frugal, this is why me and you can never be good friends.
Well, I've watched a lot of them. I've watched all the originals too.
My dad would kick your ass. I'll tell you what it is. I went to go pick up some money off my tattoos, what he owes me. And my dad being in the motor and that, meaning car, what Americans don't understand about. So, yeah, he goes up to my tattooist and he says, "You're a Star Wars fan, you aren't you?" Leaning his car out the fucking side and that big meathead and that. And my tattooist backs away saying, "I don't want no trouble with you Star Trek fans."
Yeah, I like Star Trek.
I actually do have to get going.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah,
I
I think
I've
that'll
got
be a good time to
my
hang out.
girlfriend anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, I want to say thank you for joining in on this, as well as thank you so much for joining the chat. It actually went a lot longer than I expected to, and that's great.
Don't bring me on when I'm on air pissed again, please.
Hey, it was great. We much appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.
I am not getting you banned off YouTube for my profanity.
Oh, that's all right.
Oh no, it was good having you. Right? Thanks for having me, Captain.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And I'll be happy to join any of your guys' podcast, video cast and everything if you ever want me to. All right.
If I ever start one again, it'll probably be a drunk ruffian little assholes in chat trolling each other like normal.
Okay, so it'll be like drunken peasants, but like on like low end.
Dude, you are a peasant compared to me.
Oh, all right, guys.
I'm joking, bro. It's one love.
Yeah. Yep.
Take care,
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you. Everyone have a good one.
You too. Bye.